Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Judge Law. We're going to begin with our Orca chapter very shortly.
I apologize, Your Honor. You're just a little low. I wanted to see if maybe it was on my end. I couldn't hear you.
Okay, let's try this again. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Judge Law, and we're going to begin with our Orca criminal misdemeanor calendar very shortly. Just give me about 30 seconds. Okay, thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Law. This is what we call the misdemeanor Orca calendar, where we have quite a few cases this morning scheduled to find out whether what's the status of the cases, to see if individuals want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest in exchange for a recommended sentence, or whether they want to have their case arraigned. That is, they're demanding a trial, a bench trial or a jury trial. So they will be entering a plea of not guilty and having their cases arraigned. This is a hybrid court where we have individuals in the courtroom as well as individuals on Zoom. If you are appearing via Zoom, number one, please make sure that you are not driving, you're not smoking, you're not eating. You're supposed to conduct yourself as if you're in an actual courtroom. Please make sure you're dressed appropriately, seated, not walking around because it's very distracting. I will try to see if all of you can be addressed immediately. Now, if you are a defendant charged with one or more criminal misdemeanor offenses, you do have these two rights I'd like you to keep in mind. The first one is the right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of your case, the circumstances of your case, your defenses, your alibis, any of those statements that you wish to say and utter in open court, just keep in mind you have prosecutors present, and anything you say can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. You have a right to an attorney. Listen very carefully. You have a right to an attorney, a public defense attorney or conflict defense attorney. If you financially qualify for their services, then they can represent you. Otherwise, if you do not financially qualify for the services of the public defender's office, then you have to hire your own attorney or choose to represent yourself. If you choose to represent yourself, you are responsible for every legal decision you make, how it impacts your situation, and how it may impact other facets of your life. Like, for example, if you have other open cases or if you have a professional license that may be jeopardized by a criminal conviction. All right, so I'm going to start a roll call. I'm going to start first with the Orca e-calendar, e-status calendar. Let's see, how many pages do I have of this? 19 pages.
I'll count on it.
All right. If there are private attorneys in the courtroom, All right. If there are private attorneys on Zoom, Mr. Kevin Fisher.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, Judge.
All right. You represent Mr. Gonzalez.
That's correct.
Mr. Gonzalez on the,
He should be, because I just spoke to him a second ago. He was waiting for the host to let him in.
John P. Gonzalez or Jean P. Gonzalez. Please sound out. Unmute yourself. I'm looking at like 48, 50, 60 screens. So
How you doing, Judge? This is Jean Gonzalez.
all right, I see you. Let's read, if the host could please rename his screen to Jean Gonzalez. All right, Mr. Fisher, have you spoken to the prosecutor in this case?
I have not, Your Honor. I've had extensive communication with several other prosecutors, but not the one that's assigned to this case.
And from your extensive conversations, what has been the progress?
Was gearing towards a plea, but I think the prosecutor that I was speaking with had rotated out and we got assigned to Orca. So I had not talked to the current prosecutor. So if we can pre-try it with that prosecutor, that'd be great.
All right.
What's that?
The victims in the courtroom? Yes. All right, where is she? All right, thank you. And who is the prosecutor assigned to positions 14 and 15?
Good morning, Your Honor. I am handling positions 14 and 15 for Miss Marshall Story, who is
Okay.
not with us this morning.
Miss Marsha Story has a medical emergency, family emergency, so she's not present. Are you prepared to discuss the case with Mr. Fisher?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
I am available to give him the offer.
All right, and you can send the offer to him in the chat until we get an opportunity to put you in a breakout room, okay?
Yes, Your
All right.
Honor.
You do see his panel, you can send the offer in the chat.
Yes.
Attorney Medley, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
And who do you have?
This morning, Your Honor, we've already worked this up, Demarius Love. Love.
Okay,
And I've been working with the state on this, Your Honor. We have reached a resolution and we would like to be placed on a plea calendar at a later date.
That's correct, Your Honor.
all right. This case, position 31 is going to be reset for a final plea calendar on January 20th. And Mr. Medley, please make sure you get the plea paperwork from the prosecutor. Who would that be?
ASG Tortorello, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Tortorella, please make sure, do you all have each other's emails to exchange the plea paperwork?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, so please make sure that the paperwork is exchanged, completed, executed before we start the plea hearing on the 20th. It would be at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right,
Yes, Your Honor.
anything else, Mr. Medley?
No, Your Honor, may we be
All right,
excused?
yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks, Miss Attorney Valmas, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you this morning?
Doing well, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. We're position 33. I have spoken with the prosecutor, Ms. Tortorello, and we've already reached an agreement, and I sent her the paperwork yesterday to enter a plea.
All right, and you are ready for a plea today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
And Your Honor, the plea forms were sent to the court yesterday evening.
thank you very much. We will try to reach that as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, thank you.
All right, Miss Tortorello, could you resend the documents to Miss Younger?
Yes, Your Honor, no problem.
She's assisting us with today, so she will need it to print it up for me. Thank you. Right, is Miss Addington an attorney? I can't.
Oh, no, Miss, is that Miss Amber Addington, Your Honor? That's position number 1. That's my client.
All right, and who's speaking, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, Frank Gates in the Public Defender's Office.
Oh, I see. Okay, there you are. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm just trying to find the private counsel on the
Sure.
screen, so
Good
someone
morning.
can check. Miss
Good morning, Judge.
Martin Stokes.
Good,
Okay,
Good
I've got
morning.
quite a few who just popped up. Okay, let me start with, let's see, Attorney Tanya Miller. Tanya Miller, right there on behalf of Joanne Slater.
Yes,
Yes.
Judge. Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, folks, there are like multiple screens. It's been a while since I've looked at the Zoom screen, so. All right, Miss Joanne Slater is position 41. And Ms. Miller, have you been in conference with counsel?
Yes, Judge, I have spoken to the prosecutor. She has provided discovery and relayed an offer. We are in discussions now about a potential resolution. There's some mitigation that I need to get to her. So I would ask that we be set over for another status conference. I'll be on legislative leave from January to April.
Has this case been arraigned?
That I'm not sure of. I feel like we had at least one court appearance before, Judge, but I'm not sure if we formally arraigned. But we would waive formal arraignment and plead not guilty today if we haven't.
All right, please file your written waiver of arraignment today.
Okay, Judge.
I'm going to make a note that the defense counsel has waived arraignment. This case is going to be reset for a, you said you're part of the legislative session?
Yes, Judge. We start on Monday and we usually finish up around the first week of April.
No way of squeezing you in?
What number is it?
Fridays are usually can be slow, but it's just hard to know because we don't have our calendar yet for which days we're actually in session and which days we have committee. But if you put us down, I can probably get someone to appear for me.
All right, it'll be February 3rd.
What number? Oh, what number?
Reset February 3rd at 9 a.m. That's a Friday. And hopefully if y'all reach a resolution, we can also take a plea up at that time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
It's,
you, Judge.
okay, please make sure that you file the waiver of arraignment before the legislative session begins on Monday. Thank you.
I'll do it today. Thanks, Judge.
All
Have a good
right.
day.
Do good work. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Attorney Tiffany Simmons for Keeler Harris.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. Happy New Year to you.
You too, Ms. Harris. Excuse me, Mr. Simmons. All right, is Keeler Harris present?
Yes, she's on.
Okay, she's position number 17. All right, and who's the prosecutor in this case?
Your Honor, it's ASG Marshall Story, but I'm filling in for her today.
Okay, and what is the status, Ms. Simmons, with regards to your client?
Your Honor, what so says the state? I have not received discovery or an offer on this, so I would like to hear the state's position, please.
So currently, the offer is 12 months to serve. And let me look to see if we filed discovery, counsel. Hold on one second. And any negotiations for this case, you would have to speak to ASG Marshall Story, as this is her case. But let me see when we filed and if we filed discovery.
All right, on position 17, I'm going to reset it to the next status calendar, which is February 3rd.
Okay.
At 9 a.m. And Ms. Tortorello, can you, if discovery has not been sent yet, please make sure that it's sent in the methods that the prosecutor's office is currently using. Ms. Simmons, I hope you're aware that some discovery is sent through the e-file process. So I'm sure the ASP's office knows that they're supposed to e-file and serve, do the proper clicks, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And hopefully, and also send if there is another fee recommendation other than 12 months to serve, please also convey that to Ms. Simmons. Ms. Simmons, I guess the person you've been dealing with is Ms. Marshall Story. She has a family emergency, but if you can put your email to Ms. Tortorello in the chat, then we can resolve it that way. Otherwise, your case is reset to February 3rd status calendar.
And just to put it on the record, the state has not filed discovery for this matter, so I will request that discovery be filed to Attorney Simmons today. And what was that reset date, Your Honor?
February 3rd.
Okay, thank you.
Miss Simmons?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Harris. Okay, go off on this one. I'm just looking to see, well, if you decide to waive arraignment, please go ahead and submit that before the next court date.
Okay.
Yes, I'll be glad to arraign the case today.
Okay, well, we can go ahead and formally waive arraignments and plead not guilty. We can get that handled today, Your Honor.
All right. I'll expect a written waiver of arraignment to be filed today.
Okay, thank
All
you, Your
right.
Honor.
Ms. Younger, please note that arraignment has been waived. And we're expecting a document today. Thank you. All right,
Your
Ms. Simmons, do you have any other cases?
No, Your Honor, I don't, but I do have a question. Will you allow me at least till Monday to file that waiver? I'm actually out of town right now and my computer is having problems. So at least until Monday, Your Honor, I want to make sure I keep my word and have that filed.
All right, it's noted on Odyssey that the waiver as the way that you've waived arraignment, but please make sure you get the document by Monday. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a great weekend. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry, folks, I'm going by the chat right now, so I've already, okay. Tiffany Adams for Andre Warner.
Good morning, Your Honor. Happy New Year. Good to see you again.
You too, Ms. Adams. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Andre Warner is position 49. And have you had a chance to speak to the prosecutor and what's the status?
We have, Your Honor. We've received the offer and we are not taking that. So we'd like to be placed on a trial calendar. We actually waived arraignment December 22nd, 2020. So.
All right. I have a bench trial calendar on March 24th at 1:30 p.m. Would that work?
That will work.
All right. This is a bench trial calendar of March 24th, 2023 at 1:30 p.m.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Sarita Githia.
Yes, Ms. Githia.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, dear.
The state is, we are opposing this being a bench trial and would rather this be a jury trial.
On what grounds?
Your Honor, this is a battery family violence case, and we, with our policy, we have the option of, opposing a bench trial, and in this matter, just given the nature of the offense, we would rather have a jury trial instead of a bench trial.
All right, we'll put it on the Orca jury trial calendar. So we are doing that. We have 3 or 4 days dedicated every month, starting next month for the jury trial calendars. So it may come up even sooner than March 24th, but I don't have a date right now.
All right, Your Honor, thank you for that.
All right, Ms.
We'll look out for
Githia,
notice.
will the state be ready if it comes up before March 24th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. It'll be placed on the Orca jury trial calendar, and the case management order will issue for position 49, as well as for position 17. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Adams. You have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Attorney Alex Orca for Cody Palmer.
Yes, Judge, good morning.
Good morning.
On that matter, the state and I have worked out an agreement. I'm just waiting on any additional discovery, but I believe we've worked it out. If I can just go ahead and have a plea date, that would be great.
All right. It's
Your Honor,
reset. Yeah.
What position is this?
This is position 36.
Okay. So is counsel stating that you're accepting state's offer?
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just waiting on the additional piece of discovery, which I said you're going to send, but I've discussed it with my client. He's inclined to go ahead and accept the offer. So.
Okay.
So
I'll get that to you, counsel.
I don't know what discovery y'all are waiting on, but the case is reset.
I'm trying to see if there's a video, Judge. I think
see.
that's the only thing.
All right. The case is reset for a final plea calendar on January 20th at 9 a.m. Mr. Orca, please make sure you have Ms. Tortorella's email or you provide yours so that
I do have it.
and hopefully you all have exchanged plea documents, which must be executed before January 20th.
Thank you, Judge. Will that be in person or via Zoom as well?
We can do it in person or via Zoom. Which would you
Zo-
prefer?
Zoom would be great, Judge.
Oh, okay. All right. That's perfectly fine. All right. Okay, we'll see you on the 20th of January. Make sure you have all the documents. If not, reach out to Ms. Tortorella, but I want signed, executed documents before we begin.
Absolutely, Judge.
All right.
Judge, I have no further business. May I be excused?
Yes, Mr. Arca, have a great weekend. Happy
You
New
too,
Year.
Judge. Take care.
You too. Attorney Ismailova or Jessica Wall?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. And Ms. Ismailova, you have, this is position 47. And who's the prosecutor for that case?
Sarita Githier, Your
All
Honor.
right, Ms. Githier. And what is the status, Ms. Ismailova?
Yes, Your Honor. I have received the paper discovery, but am still waiting on the body cam footage for this matter. So my request would be if Your Honor would allow us to be moved to the February status calendar. I think by that time, I should have that and we should have a resolution for the case.
That is correct, Your Honor. We are working on obtaining that video.
All right. I'll reset it to February 3rd, status calendar at 9 a.m. pending the, and also, is there a plea offer in the meantime?
Yes, Your Honor. It was emailed to counsel.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. So if y'all decide to move forward with the plea offer, also make sure the documents are signed and so forth. And I see that a waiver of arraignment was filed on October 22nd of 2020.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so this case has already been arraigned. We'll issue, no, we won't do anything at this point. We'll see you on the February 3rd. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May my client not be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too, thank you. Ms. Martin Stokes?
Good morning, Judge. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank
And your client is Alex Icard?
Yes, Judge, he is present on a platform. We have not spoken to the new solicitor that's been assigned to this case. So we were in discussions with the old one, but nothing from the new one. So if Your Honor can let me know who is assigned to this case, I'd be happy to talk with them today.
All right, this position 22, Alex Icard. Prosecutor is Ms. Tortorella, Ms. Githia?
Good morning, Your Honor. I am handling this case for Ms. Marshall Story.
Okay, so Ms. Marshall Story. Is there an offer been made to Ms. Stokes?
If not, I can place it on the record.
Okay, what I'm going to do is have you go in a breakout with Ms. Stokes.
Okay.
All right, and to discuss discovery, the offer, and what you would like to do next. Final plea calendar, status, another status calendar, or a trial calendar, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Judge, would it be possible to put Ms. Riley and me in a breakout session as well, so we can try to resolve this case? Because I have to be in court at noon, about an hour away.
Okay, Ms. Riley, why?
Your Honor, I can't go into a breakout room until the end of the calendar because some of the other cases are mine.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Fisher, are you going by Zoom?
To the other court?
Yeah.
No, I'm traveling in person, but I can, it's fine. I can wait a little bit. It's fine.
I'm trying to get through all the private
you.
counsel cases, so let me see.
No worries.
I have Tom.
I'm sorry. I did give Mr. Fisher my email address as well as Ms. Marshall Stories. You can feel free to email me if you have to leave. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. I can hang for a bit. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Tom Rousey for Shouting Wang. I see Mr. Wang's present.
Yeah, good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
We received the state's offer yesterday. Haven't had time to discuss it in detail with my client, but I understand there are still some outstanding videos that the state is trying to obtain.
That is correct, Your Honor. We're working on trying to get that.
All right.
Judge, my client does have a family emergency back in China. And I think he plans on traveling there sometime shortly after the end of this week or next. And I don't know what kind of time frame with his visa and all that's going to require. But I heard a February calendar. I didn't know if that was early or late.
I don't have a, right now, my earliest is February 3rd, and I have a motions calendar of March 24th. What's the nature of the emergency?
I'm not sure. He just messaged me a direct message on this
Okay, and
chat.
what are the flight plans?
Well, I think there's something still to be determined due to his visa application. There may be some travel restrictions with that.
All right, I'm going to reset this case to February 3rd. Hopefully you have all the information by then,
Okay.
right? If your client has, and I'm sure you can communicate with him also, just like we are.
Right.
We'll just be in a different time zone. And if he's already in China, but I would need a copy of his flight itinerary filed with the court.
Before he
When
goes,
he gets his flight plans, he needs to make sure he's a copy and it's filed with the court.
okay.
Right now, you're saying he's waiting on his visa, right?
No,
Okay,
go ahead,
hang on.
Sam.
Mr. Wang, when are you
Yep.
planning to travel to China?
It must be after January 8th, and
when will you return?
I don't know, because my dad is in hospital. It's not
Okay. Then please, we just need your itinerary, your flight plan, and if you leave your return date open, that's fine. I just need a copy of it filed with the court. And also make sure that you keep in touch with your attorney, Mr. Rousey. He will appear in court for you on February 3rd.
Thank you, Judge.
All right? Thank you. All right, this case has already been arraigned, so, and Ms. Githier, you said, what is the time frame for this evidence, these body cams?
Hopefully, Your Honor, we will have it before the February 3rd hearing.
Okay, well, a lot before, at least a week before, because they'll need to review it and so forth.
Yes,
Okay, anything else, Mr. Rousey?
That's it. Thank you, Judge.
One other question, Your Honor, just for clarification, would Mr. Wayne be required to appear still via Zoom or just?
If he gets a link, that'll be great. If he can appear from China, it'll be about, 12 midnight for him.
Okay, I just didn't know if you wanted him to appear or not. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Rousey, have a great weekend. Thank you.
You too, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Tavis for Daniel Howard.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning, sir.
He was arraigned, I think, maybe a year or two ago. I see the state filed some discovery about 2 weeks ago, but we had previously announced in 2021, I think, that we were wanting to be moved to a jury trial calendar.
Okay. Let me just.
And I do apologize. What position is that, Your Honor?
This is position 20 on my calendar. All right, the case, yes, it was arraigned at SAP on February 5th, 2021. And there's been a motion for discovery. Initial discovery was filed apparently on December 21st, 2022. Are you all still anticipating more information? Mr. Tevis?
I don't know. I wasn't served with the discovery. I just saw the entry on the docket. I think it's
how
just
were you expecting to be served?
I don't know. I think it's just a police report, which I've already obtained.
No, were you expecting it to be delivered by mail or because it's being served via e-file?
No, I mean, I didn't even get an e-file notice.
Okay.
I see it in the docket, but I didn't get, I don't know if they just clicked e-file instead of file and serve, but I can download it.
Yeah, is it Ms. Githia?
No, Your Honor, it's Ms. Tortorello for ASG Marshall Story.
All right.
Counsel, have you received an offer at all as of recent for this case?
No, I don't think we've had any activity in a year or so.
Okay, if you don't mind, I can send it to you via chat.
Sure, we'll receive it. I don't know that I'll change the client's position, but I'll relay it. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
All right, I'm going to place this on the Orca. Did you want a bench trial, Mr. Tevis? Well, this is battery
Yeah,
it's not family violence. Is the state going to object to a bench trial,
Yes, Your Honor.
even though it's not family violence?
It's a violent offense, Your Honor, and the state's
Okay.
objecting to a bench trial.
So we're gonna put it on the Orca jury trial calendar. And a case management order is to issue. And hopefully, Ms. Tortorella, you can go ahead and e-file and click serve so that Mr. Tevis gets the discovery too.
I will tell the court support, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Mr. Tevis?
that's all. Thank you, Judge.
All right, take care.
You too.
Your Honor, what was that reset date? I'm sorry, it's going so fast.
Oh, no, it's an Orca jury trial calendar. I don't have the date.
Okay.
All right. Next is Show Watson. Attorney Show Watson.
Yes, Judge, that's me. Good morning.
Good morning. All right. So let's start with Timothy Fulton.
Right. I'm not sure if Mr. Fulton is on the call. He did reach out to me yesterday. I didn't have a chance to connect with him.
Timothy Fulton, are you present? Oh, he's here in the courtroom.
Okay.
All right.
I don't believe I've gotten an offer from the state on this one. The solicitor's office can correct me if an offer has been made.
Who's the prosecutor?
It's ASG Riley for Ms. Marshall Story.
Okay.
This is a dual matter with position 39. So I am not sure, Attorney Watson, if you've spoken with co-counsel regarding this matter, but I do have an offer.
Mr. Ruffoff is counsel for position 39, Ulysses Shield.
She should be on Zoom. I talked to her this morning.
Ulysses Shield?
Yeah, she's there.
SCHIELE. Okay. So there.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Have both of the attorneys received offers from the prosecutor?
No, Your Honor, not for position, for Mr. Watson's position. I can send that to him in the chat or put it in the record.
I just picked up the case within a week.
All right.
So
I'm going to reset both these cases to February 3rd, 2023 at 9 a.m. And this is going to be the next status calendar. Mr. Watson, you're supposed to receive the plea offer.
and I do have the plea.
Wait, just one second. This one. And Mr. Watson, are you waiting on any outstanding discovery?
I believe I am, but Madam Solicitor, if you want to give me your email address, I'll email you mine, and then we can go from there as far as any offer.
Okay.
Or if you want to put your email in the chat, then I can get it like that.
Yes, I will put that in the chat. Give me just a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and this case has not been arraigned. Mr. Watson, do you want to file a waiver of arraignment?
I'll file a waiver of arraignment today, Judge.
All right.
And
I apologize, Attorney Watson. What position do you have again? I have lost it on the calendar.
Timothy Fulton is position 13.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so for Timothy Fulton, the case is reset to February 3rd at 9 a.m. status calendar. Ms. Riley will convey the plea offer and any discovery that needs to be served upon defense counsel. Make sure you'll file and serve it. And counsel is going to, Ms. Watson's going to submit a written waiver of arraignment, and the court will generate a case management order.
Okay, Your Honor.
Just a minute. All right, Mr. Watson, any other questions about Mr. Fulton's case?
Not with respect to his, Judge, no.
All right. Ms. Riley, any questions?
No, Your Honor, I'm sending him my email currently.
All right. Okay, moving on to Ms. Shilia's case, Mr. Ruffo.
Yes, on number 39, we do have discovery and we do have the plea offer. But we would like it reset as the court has already directed.
If y'all can take the plea today also if you want. Okay, Ms. Schill, you do have a right to remain silent. Anything you say, your statements can and will be used against you. You have an attorney, Mr. Roffa, who is in the courtroom.
Yes, I was just asking, when is my next court date?
Okay, Mr. Roffa, are you ready to proceed with the plea?
No, we would ask the court to reset this to 2/23.
To February 3rd.
Is that what you set the other case to, February
February
23rd?
3rd.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's February 3rd,
February
2023
Oh,
at
2/3.
9 a.m.
Okay.
That's going to be a status calendar. Your attorney is Mr. Mike Roffa. Have you been in conversation with him?
Yes, I spoke with him
Okay.
early this morning.
So see if y'all want to resolve it on the 3rd. I'll take a plea. Otherwise, y'all decide what your options are. Okay?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Schill. You're free to go. All right, Mr. Watson, your next case is Jilwandris Demps, D-E-M-P-S.
Yes, Judge. I'm not sure if Ms. Demps is in the courtroom. She reached out to my office.
Demps, are y'all in the courtroom? D-E-M-P-S. I don't have a Demps on the calendar.
Well, it may
I
be
don't either.
Henderson. She's got two last names.
Position 25, Your Honor. I apologize.
Okay, I got it. Okay, I can't make out that name, but okay, there we go. I have Demps Henderson Jilwandrius. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
All right, and what's your status on this one?
Judge, I received an offer from the state on this, and my client did reach out to me prior to the offer from the state, but since then, there've been some communication problems trying to get a hold of the client.
Is she here?
I'm not sure if she's actually in the courtroom or not, Judge.
All right.
Your Honor, can you call for
Definitely. I've got last name Jilwandrius, first name Demps, D-E-M-P-S, middle name Henderson. Anyone in the courtroom with that name? Anyone on Zoom with that name? It would be very beneficial to make your announcement right now. All right, I'm going to issue a bench warrant for Mr. Jilwandrius. The bond is going to be set at $2,500. It's going to be a good bond. All right, moving on. Your next case is Shantavia Stewart.
Right. And honestly, Judge, of these cases, this is one where I didn't recall accepting, I think, at her initial first appearance. So I don't believe I've had any communication with Miss Stewart. I don't know if she's in the courtroom or not.
Miss Shantavia Stewart. Shantavia Stewart. Shantavia Stewart on Zoom.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning.
There she is. Okay. Miss Stewart, do you have an attorney?
I do, Mr. Show Watson. I did not accept the plea given to me.
Do you need to speak with her, Mr. Watson?
Yes, Judge, if you would allow me to speak with Miss Stewart. Miss Stewart, if you can put your cell phone number in the chat, I will give you a call.
Okay. If you look in your direct messages, I've messaged you.
Put in the chat directly to Mr. Watson, Miss Stewart.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Do we have your current address?
Oh, I got it. I have it now. Thank you.
No. Do we have Miss Stewart's current address?
Yes.
Let me make sure.
What is your current address, Miss Stewart? Would
Oh,
you
hang on,
read that
hang
out?
on. I have, she can put in the chat. I have the Hill Street address. Is that correct?
Yes.
Apartment B?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Miss Stewart, you're responsible for making sure that you keep up with your attorney and find out what's the status of the case. As you can see, if you fail to do so, there's going to be very little progress in your case. At the present time, Mr. Watson, I'm going to put her in a breakout room with you very shortly.
And Your
Judge,
Honor, I'm sorry, go ahead, counsel.
no, I was just going to say, I know that I didn't know if the state had an updated offer on this case. for Ms. Stewart.
Well, let's find out. Is there an updated offer from the state?
Yes, Your Honor. I emailed it to you yesterday. Would you like it placed on the record?
Go ahead and put in the chat or look it up on the email. Okay,
Yeah,
that case
I'm
is going to
sorry,
be in the breakout.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Stewart, do not leave. Your next case is Laquana Rogers. Mr. Watson?
Yes, Judge. And I don't know, is Laquana Rogers on the chat?
Laquana Rogers is in the courtroom.
All right.
Have you been in touch with your attorney, Mr. Watson? And what's your phone number? 470-420-0834. All right, Ms. Rogers is present. Did you get that number, Mr. Watson?
I did, and
right.
let Ms. Rogers know I'm going to call her shortly with the state's offer.
Keep your phone on vibrate. He's going to call you, then you'll have to step outside and speak with him. You cannot leave the court yet. Thank you.
And Your Honor, that case is a cross-defendant case as well, just advising.
All right, thank you.
I do apologize, Your Honor, just temporarily going back to position 43. That's also a dual case.
Yeah, I assume that's a dual because we are talking to conflict counsel.
Okay.
Francisco Rosado.
Right.
Rosado on Zoom.
I'm present, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Rosado, have you spoken to your attorney, Mr. Watson?
I've not gotten the opportunity to yet, ma'am.
What's your phone number?
I just sent it to him in the direct message. Would you like me to say it here?
No, what's your full name?
Francisco Bibiloni Rosado. It's hyphenated. We usually use Bibiloni though.
He's position 6, Your Honor.
All right. And Judge, I'll call Mr. Rosado as well, Biblioni,
Okay.
with the state's
All right.
offer.
So position 6 also. Okay. I think that covers all your cases, right? Mr.
It does,
Watson?
Judge.
All right, so you're going to be talking to these folks,
Right.
Ms. Stewart and Ms. Rosado and Ms. Rogers, right?
Yes, that's correct, Judge. So I'll step away for a moment and
Okay.
mute myself, and I'll report back to the court.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, the next, okay, are there any other private counsels? Ms. Kurt? Good morning. Randall's Romero Smith, position 42.
Thank you, Judge. We've been given an offer that we just need some time for compliance for. If we could please have a continuance to the February calendar for compliance.
All right, unless there's any objection, I'm resetting position 42 to February 3rd, 2022. Would that give you enough time?
Yes, Judge, thank you.
Okay.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, reset February 3rd, 2022 for compliance. I guess once done, the case will be dismissed.
Correct, Judge.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thank you so much, Ms. Kurt. You're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other private attorneys on Zoom? All right. Miss Riley?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Mr. Fisher to discuss Mr. Gonzalez.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you.
Right. So Mr. Glanville, if you can please place Ms. Fisher, Mr. Fisher and Ms. Riley in a breakout room. Ms. Githier, you're going in a breakout room with Ms. Stokes for position 22, I-Quad. Ms.
Okay.
Githier?
Yes, Your Honor. Okay.
All right. So, Ms. Stokes, are you still with me? Yeah, all right, all right. You'll get a message on the screen to join a breakout room. Ladies and gentlemen, the rest of you, I'm going to be calling your calendars very shortly. I also want to make sure that all of you understand that if you do not have an attorney and you want the services of the public defense attorney, you have to look at the chat feature on your screen to see how to reach out to the public defense attorney. The information is already listed there. It says contact Reggie in.robertson@fultoncountyga.gov. So make sure you're looking at the chat feature to speak to the public defense attorney. The lady, Miss Kamala, sitting on a bed, who's your defense attorney?
Good morning, Judge. I do not have one. I have tried to reach out to the public defender's office several times, so.
Look at the chat feature on your Zoom. I'm noticing a lot of people not doing anything, so you need to get cracking. Look at the chat feature. Again, the email is reggie.in.robertson@fultoncountyga.gov. If you want to speak to a public defense attorney and you don't know how to send the email, put your information in the chat. I need a public defense attorney. This is my phone number. Put it in the chat.
Hi, Judge. I think some people showed up late and they may not have received that from Ms. Robertson. If she could just resend that so they could have that contact.
All right. Ms. Robertson, please reissue that information on the chat feature. All right. For the folks in the courtroom.
Okay, Judge.
No, Ms. Kamala, mute your screen. I'm done. For folks who are in the courtroom, as I've said, we do have 2 defense attorneys over here. Who needs to speak to a public defense to see if they qualify? All right. Okay, moving on to position 33. We're going to address our plea. This is Thomas Shaw McCamey, represented by attorney Mr. Victor Balmus in case number 20 CR 005-091E. Mr. McCamey, could you sound out for yourself again, please?
Present, Your Honor.
All right, okay, I just need to make sure I put him on the right side. Okay, all right. Okay, Mr. McCamey, this is case number 20 CR 005-091E. This is going to be a plea hearing in which the state is going to articulate its recommended sentence. And if you and your client and your attorney have discussed it and are willing to proceed with it, then we will conduct the full hearing. And I will ask you some questions to make sure that you're entering this plea willingly, voluntarily, and knowingly. So for purposes of the plea hearing, may I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Thank you. All right. Ms. Tortorella, are you proceeding in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. What is the plea recommendation for Mr. McCamey?
Your Honor, the offer is public drunk reduced to disorderly conduct, 12 months served 1 day, credit for time served 1 day, balance probated, ADET, and 20 hours of community service. The state will be no processing in exchange of this plea, the count 1 obstruction of law enforcement charge. And does counsel stipulate to the facts, venue, and ID of the matter?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Right. Mr. Balmus, does your client accept these terms? And as you've stated, you stipulated to the factual basis, venue, and ID, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. McCamey, have you consumed any medication or alcohol recently?
I have not.
All right. And are you satisfied with your attorney's services?
Yes.
Is anyone forcing you or inducing you to take this plea offer today?
No.
And are you doing so freely, knowingly, and voluntarily?
Yes.
Has it been explained to you that if you take this plea offer today, that this will conclude the case, that you would not be able to go back to court, have a trial, confront your accuser, examine witnesses, challenge the state's evidence, be able to present any defenses if you choose to do so, as well as have the state try to prove the 2 original charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt? Are you prepared to waive these rights?
Yes.
How do you plead to 1 count of disorderly conduct?
Guilty.
Your sentence is 12 months to serve 1 day, credit for time served 1 day. The remainder of the time you'll be on probation. You will report to probation next Thursday at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. While you're on probation, you will complete an alcohol and drug evaluation with a qualified healthcare provider. If treatment is recommended, you will submit yourself to that treatment at your expense. You will also complete 20 hours of voluntary community service at any nonprofit agency. Once you complete the terms, your probation will terminate. Excuse me. Any questions, Mr. Balmas?
Yes, Your Honor. My client actually, he goes to, he's a college student in Clemson in South Carolina. Classes start Monday, the 9th. Is there any way that he can possibly report by phone because he's going to be in South Carolina in college? If that be an option. Also, can he complete his community service also in South Carolina?
Any objection, Ms. Tortorella?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, I'll allow, he'll need to contact, well, someone needs to contact the probation office because I don't have probation on Zoom. So someone from your office would need to make sure that they get the information, and that would be by next Thursday.
Your Honor, so my client needs to reach out to probation or somebody from the solicitor's office?
No. Someone from your office is going to make contact with the probation office at 132 Mitchell Street next Thursday. And make sure you give the probation officer the information that Mr. McCamey will be able to communicate via phone, that he will complete his alcohol and drug evaluation in Tennessee, and that he will complete his community service in Tennessee. And once that initial contact is made, then Mr. McCamey will follow up with a phone call and then thereafter via phone.
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, actually, South Carolina.
Oh,
Clemson.
sorry. Didn't know. Yike. Okay.
Okay, Your Honor. So I'll try to get the number from probation and reach out to them and get that coordinated.
All right. Thank you. Mr. McCamey, did you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Good. Best of luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's my only case. Can I be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Are there any other private attorneys who have information to relay? Okay.
Judge, we've got a resolution for Mr. Gonzalez. We just need to get a plea date, and I'm trying to avoid some conflicts. I didn't know how far out you're going for specially said pleas.
Oh, it's February 3rd. Oh, for final plea? Oh, final plea, excuse me, is January 20th. Excuse me.
Is that in the morning only?
Yeah, 9 a.m.
Is that my only option?
If you want to come back on January 1st, February 3rd, our status calendar, we can take a plea at that time as well.
Is that my only option?
Let me see. I have January 20th and February 3rd right now.
That's it. All right. What we'll do is we'll do January 20th. I just may have to step out of the hearing that I'm in to do the plea.
Okay. This is for which position again?
This is Jean Gonzalez.
This is position 14 and 15, Your Honor. They're actually duplicates.
Okay. 14 and 15, they're a duplicate case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm just going to eliminate 15, and position 14 is reset to January 20th at 9 a.m. for a final plea.
And that'll be virtual, Judge?
Yes. Please make sure you received and have the documents executed before the hearing, and that will help things move a little smoothly.
Thank you, Judge. Who will be sending that to me?
All right.
That will be Ms. Marshall's story.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Miss Riley, can you make sure that it's sent?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm communicating via email to them both currently.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Fisher. You're free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Judge, this is Jean Gonzalez. Am I free to go too?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a blessed weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. All right, if there are no other announcements from the other folks who are talking,
Your Honor, I have.
yeah, I'm just going to make an announcement.
Oh, I'm
Ladies and
sorry.
gentlemen, I'm going to be addressing the cases in the courtroom first, and then I'm going to be addressing the cases on Zoom. So, as I said, make sure that you're taking the steps to reach out to the public defense attorney. Put your name in the chat feature and your phone number if you need a public defense to reach out to you. Thank you. All right, Mr. Gaither.
Oh, no problem, Judge. You just cleared everything up. And I was just gonna tell you, when you call the calendar, I have some updated announcements for you on some cases, on some folks is on the Zoom, but you've already given instructions. You're gonna start with the courtroom first.
Okay, thank you. Mr. McGrath, you want to start with your clients first?
Miss Portia Dudley is number 11.
Yes. And what's the announcement for Miss Dudley?
Yeah, there's no I just recently got the file. I do have the discovery, but there's no recommendation in the file. I guess I would ask them to just be set on the final plea calendar.
All right, let me see if Miss Tortorella or Miss Riley or Miss Githier are present. Any of the prosecutors for position 11?
Yes, Your Honor, that is my case, which I did send an email asking which public defender has Ms.
Yeah,
Dudley, but I do have the offer for Mr. Raffoff currently. It is 12 months probation, 6 anger management classes, 40 hours of community service, and to have no further violent or harassing contact with, this is also a dual arrest. Mr. Raffoff, I would be willing, if Ms. Dudley wants to enter a plea, to reduce the charge to disorderly conduct. But I would need a guarantee that she is entering a plea.
All right. So, Mr. Raffoff, please discuss with your client.
This Miss Riley?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right, well, we'll talk to her and then we'll have a further announcement.
All right. So, Miss Dudley, Mr. Raffoff is going to discuss with you this possible plea offer to reduce the charge of disorderly conduct with 6 anger management classes and community service. All right. And if you all reach a resolution, maybe we can do it today so you don't have to come back, or, well, I'll let him talk to you. Okay. Who's your next client, Mr. Raffoff?
I have number 10, Haley Denson.
All right. Haley Denson, are you in the courtroom?
No, I'm on Zoom.
All right. Speak up
She's on
again.
Zoom? I'm sorry, I thought you.
I'm in the Zoom call, sorry.
All right. She is titled under Zoom user. Let's go ahead and change that name to Haley Denson. All right. Miss Denson, you've spoken to your attorney, Mr. Raffoff?
Yes, a couple of times.
All right. Mr. Raffoff, what's the announcement? Do you see her on the screen, sir? She's on the 3rd row to the extreme right.
Yes, okay. And I don't have a recommendation. I don't see one in the file. I do have the discovery, but I need to, who's the prosecutor?
That would be Miss Riley again.
Riley.
And again, I emailed asking because it has an old public
I
defense.
just recently got the cases. I apologize, but I hadn't had time other than to contact them and make sure they show up. That's about
What's the offer?
For count 1, criminal trespass, family violence, is 12 months probation and to pay restitution for the glasses that were broken. Count 2 for the battery family violence is 12 months probation, attend and complete a family violence intervention program, undergo a mental health evaluation, any treatment that is recommended, and to have no further violent or harassing contact with Amadou Dianato.
I mean, I could talk with her today and make a further announcement.
All right, Miss Denson, does Mr. Raffoff have your phone number?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I talked to her this morning, I believe.
Okay, That's good.
Yes.
He's going to discuss the case with you and see what you would like to do with regards to this plea offer. All right, so this is Denson. All right, next case.
In the courtroom, I have Miss Watson. No? Rodney Watson, I'm sorry, Mr. Watson. Okay.
Rodney Watson is present in the courtroom.
And I do have the discovery. I don't think I have a recommendation.
All right.
Did I?
Who's the prosecutor for Mr. Rodney Watson, position 50?
Sarita Githiea, and a
Alright.
transfer order to Superior Court was emailed late yesterday to Ms. Younger.
All right.
So this case has been transferred?
Yes.
Mr. Rodney Watson. All right, please stand up, sir. This is case 20 CR 004168E, in which Mr. Watson's been charged with battery, domestic violence. Mr. Watson, please remember you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in this court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. Presently, Mr. Rockoff is representing you. The district attorney's office, which is with the Fulton County Superior Court. The courtroom, the court you're in right now, this is state. We prosecute misdemeanor cases. Do you follow me so far?
Yeah.
All right. In Superior Court, the district attorney's office is the prosecutor that prosecutes felony cases. Do you follow me, sir?
This is a felony case?
The district attorney has accepted this case as a felony matter. So it's going to be transferred to the Superior Court of Fulton County as a felony matter. Since you qualify for the public defender's office, please make sure that you maintain your current address and contact information. The Superior Court Clerk's office will send you notice of when to appear in court for this matter as where the DA's office will be prosecuting the case.
I was told it was a misdemeanor case.
It was initially a charge as a misdemeanor, but is this based on a prior conviction?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have been previously convicted of a similar offense, then any subsequent arrest for battery, domestic violence can be a felony matter. All right. Thank you. Mr. Rockoff, do you have any other cases in the court?
I'll get you. I'll talk to you in a minute. Okay. I'll talk to you. I don't think there's any. Is there anybody else in the courtroom I represent?
Okay, so you have to talk to. You're going to talk to Mr. Watson, Ms. Dudley, and Ms. Denson. Okay. Ms. Portia Dudley. Yeah, you're going to talk to her. Okay.
That's it then in the court.
Mr. Gaither, which cases do you have in the courtroom?
Oh, I have no cases in the courtroom, Judge.
All right. Which cases do you have on Zoom?
Okay, on Zoom, Your Honor, I have position number 1.
All right, Amber Addington?
Can you all hear me online? Do I need to unmute
Yes,
my
you're loud
microphone?
and clear.
Okay, cool.
Amber Addington?
Amber Addington, she is present, Judge. I do have the state's offer. Where is he? I just saw her.
I'm here.
Okay. I have the state's offer, Judge. This is a case, Your Honor, that I can't accept the state's offer. And this would be a case that would be very beneficial for Ms. Addington and her husband, the state's witness, to appear in court. The other complaining witness, being her stepson, will not be able to be in court. He is now 18 years old and is a serviceman in the U.S. military and is stationed at Fort Lee in Virginia. But this would be a case that would be beneficial to give me some time to talk to the prosecutor, and I would like them to be here, my client and the complaining witness to be here in court.
Is she is there a cross defendant or is
No.
this one defendant case?
No.
Okay. This case has not been, I don't know if it's been arraigned. I don't see that it has. It's been with Judge Morrison's court. All right. So she's not accepting the plea offer, is that correct?
As her lawyer, I'm not gonna let her take the plea offer as it stands today, especially without me talking to her.
All right, do you want, if you are planning to file a waiver of arraignment, or I can arraign the case today, we
I
can.
will. I'll get that filed today, Judge.
All right. This case will be placed on, well, considering there's domestic violence, I'm assuming the state's going to demand a jury trial, is that correct?
If they can get the
Yes, Your Honor.
victims here,
However,
if they can get the complaining witness here, but I would ask that this case be placed on a final plea calendar.
On a final plea calendar?
Yes, yes, because it still may resolve. It's just not gonna resolve today. And just being honest, Judge, it'd be faster if I was able to talk to the prosecutor and then bring him in on a final plea and handle it that way.
This will be reset to January 20th for a final plea calendar. But you will still file your waiver of arraignment today.
Absolutely.
Okay. And we'll place it on the final plea calendar on January 20th at 9 a.m. All right, Ms. Addington, did you have any questions about the next court date?
No, Your Honor.
In person too, okay, Ms. Addington?
Yes, I was just sick today.
No problem, no problem.
All right, you will have to come down to the courthouse on January 20th. And do you have the address?
It's on Prior Street, correct?
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, this one's reset to finally. Your next case, Mr. Gaither, on Zoom?
Let me ask, Your Honor, may Ms. Addington be excused?
Yes, Ms. Addington, you're free to go.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too. I'll call you, okay?
All right.
The next case I have, Judge, is actually number 3 and number 4.
Gregory Bankston?
Gregory Bankston. I did not have any telephone contact with him when I received the case, and I'm glad that he reached out on Zoom because he is present on Zoom.
Yes, I am.
So this is a case, Judge, where I am definitely going to need some time to speak with him. I have the state's offer, and their offer currently involves jail time, so I know that's not going to be able to be resolved today. So I would ask that this case gets placed on a final plea calendar as well.
All right, let me see. This case has been arraigned. It was arraigned in 2021. Mr. Bankston, is your address still at Baldwin Street?
Yes, ma'am.
And is your phone number still ending with 4383?
No, ma'am. It's 9262. It's 470 if you're ready.
Ready? 470
573
573
9262.
All right, you would need to send a notice to update your contact information.
I'll do that today. Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
And it's your responsibility of keeping in touch with your attorney so that your next court date is going to be January 20th, is going to be for a final plea calendar, and you're required to be here in person. No more Zoom.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. And that's for position 4 and 5. 3 and 4.
Correct, Judge. May Mr. Bankston be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you.
Mr. Bankston, I'm gonna call you.
Thank you, Mr. Frank. I was gonna ask.
No problem.
Okay. Next case, Mr. Gaither?
Yes, Your Honor. I have position number 5, Yvette Barlow. Similar situation. Did not have a phone number for her. Now I'm glad she reached out on Zoom. I do represent her. And based on the state's offer, I'm going to ask that this case gets placed on a final plea calendar as well because the state is asking for jail time.
All right, Miss Yvette Barlow, can you unmute? Can you hear us? Yvette Barlow.
She's right. Right there. There you go.
Can you hear us? I can't hear you. I don't have audio. We need your phone number.
Yes. Ms. Barlow, we can't hear you. You may have to log in and log out and log back in.
All right, Ms. Barlow, you may have to log out and then log back in and make sure that your video and your audio are connected. All right, make sure you don't leave. I mean, you can leave just to reconnect, but but you must reconnect. Okay, pending her coming back, I need her to give us information before we can proceed. Your next case, Mr. Gaither?
Sure, my next case, Judge, is Miss Kamala Shivers. She is online. And what number is she?
Did you say Shepherd?
She's number 40.
Okay.
Kamala Shivers. I believe she was the young lady that.
Oh, Shivers.
Shivers.
Yeah, Kimarla Shivers. All right, yes, Miss Shivers is, okay, Miss Shivers is present. And Miss Shivers, please unmute your screen. All right. All right, Miss Shivers, you're represented by Mr. Frank Gaither, who is the attorney in the courtroom. Were you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. And have you spoken to her, Mr. Gaither?
No, Judge, this was another case. I did not have her phone number, and I'm glad she appeared on Zoom.
What's your phone number, Miss Shivers?
It's 404-245-3336.
All right. And did you want to reset this to the final plea calendar?
Well, I'm gonna have to put the ball in Ms. Shivers' court based on what she requested in the chat. She wanted to let the court initially know that she was interested in hiring her own attorney. So let me just ask Ms. Shivers, is that still your position?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Shivers, so you are refusing the services of the Public Defender's Office?
Yes.
All right, let me just go ahead and pull up your case. All right, this is State of Georgia versus Kimarla Shivers. She has this charge with battery domestic violence from May 27, 2020. The case was initially accused on June 2nd, 2020. A bond was issued. There was a bond forfeiture. All right, I had an attorney file an entry of appearance in June of 2021. And that was Mr. Ray Williams. Oh, that was with the Public Defender's Office. All right. And since then, the case was arraigned on May 26, 2021. Discovery has already been provided on December 29, 2022. Do you have that discovery?
I do. I do have the discovery and I have the videos and yes.
All right. So, Ms. Shivers, your case has already been arraigned. I'm going to schedule this on a jury trial calendar. Who's the prosecutor in this case?
Sarita Githier, Your Honor.
All right. And Ms. Githier, are you going to ask for a jury trial or a bench trial?
Jury trial, Your Honor.
All right. This is going to be reset on a jury trial calendar. A case management order will issue. Ms. Shivers, I need you to be in court on February 3rd. (2023) at 9 a.m. with your attorney.
Okay.
All right, in person, no more Zoom. If you appear via Zoom, I'm going to count that as a failure to appear.
Okay.
All right, and you need to appear with your private attorney so that I have, I'll make sure that your attorney has the discovery, has the case management order, and they're ready to go to trial.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Oh, and I just want to make sure of your address also. What's your current address?
3155 Hickman Drive, apartment 81, Atlanta, Georgia, 30311.
Excellent, thank you. All right, do you have any other questions, Ms. Hickman, Ms. Shivers?
I do not.
Okay.
Good morning, Judge. I think I'm the last attorney with the last cases.
Well, let me just confirm. Ms. Shivers, you're free to go. Make sure you come back on February 3rd at 9 a.m. with your attorney. Mr. Gaither,
Yes.
do you have any other cases?
I have no other cases. I was just waiting for Ms. Barlow to log back in.
All right, Ms. Helen, you're up.
Good morning, Judge, and Happy New Year. It's good to see you. I have at least 5 cases today that I've inherited from another attorney, so we've got just a little work to do. The first one was position number 7, Lester Butler. I just want to see where Mr. Butler is.
Lester Butler. Lester Butler.
Your Honor, the state would request a bench warrant.
All right, granted. All right, this is a bench warrant for position number 7. Bond is going to be set at $3,000, $1,500 on each count.
The next case I have, Judge, I apologize, I didn't mean to interrupt you. If you
No, you're not. You're not. Go ahead.
The next position I have, Judge, is number 8, Thomas Chapman.
Thomas Chapman. Thomas Chapman in the courtroom. Thomas Chapman on Zoom. Thomas Chapman is not sounding out.
State would request a bench warrant.
Granted. Warrant is going to be 1,000 on the simple battery, 2,000 on the battery. That's a 300,000 surety bond. Next case.
My next case, Judge, is Christopher Coleman, number 9.
Christopher Coleman. Christopher Coleman is present in the courtroom. If you'd like to walk all the way around, sir, to the podium right here. Is Yvette Barlow back in? Yvette Barlow?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
there she is. Okay.
yes, I'm here. I just don't know how to work this computer.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good. Miss Barlow, what's your phone number?
It's 404-423-8901.
423-8901. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gaker, did we get that number?
Yes, I got the number, Judge.
Okay. Did you want to talk to her now, or did you want to?
No, this is a case where I'm gonna need to talk to her later. The state is requesting jail time.
Okay. I'm going to have to reset it to February 3rd, final plea calendar. My January 20th calendar is full.
Okay.
Oh, will you, can you call me, sir? So
No, I will. Trust me. I'm gonna call you.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Miss Barlow, Mr. Frank Gaither is your attorney.
Frank.
Gaither, G-A-I, just like it's spelled on the screen. Gaither.
Okay.
All right.
Yes,
And your next court date is February 3rd at 9 a.m. and you need to be here in person.
Yes, Miss ma'am. February 3rd at 9 a.m. Okay.
In person, not Zoom.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. You're free to go. All right.
Oh,
Mr. Coleman is present in the courtroom. Miss Helen, do you see him in the courtroom?
I do
To the
now, Judge.
podium.
If Mr. Coleman can provide me his cell phone number as well as an email address in the chat, I will contact Mr. Coleman. But Judge, I am asking for that February final plea date for Mr. Coleman's case.
All right. Have you spoken to him before?
No, Judge, I assume this case from another attorney in our office. I'm going to follow up with him with this case. I haven't received an offer in this case either, but I was going to do a substitution of counsel today as well, Judge.
All right. Mr. Coleman, would you
Yes.
like to provide us with your phone? I mean, you are right now represented by the Public Defender's Office. Would you like to continue with that representation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Could I have your phone number so that Miss Helen can get in touch with you?
Yes, it's 470-905-4204.
470-905-4204. Okay, and your email?
Vision Real,
I don't know, well, what?
Vision, DISION, Real, RAEL, all together.
Vision Real?
Yes, number 8 at gmail.com.
All right, Miss Helen, the email I got is the word Vision Real, REAL, number 8 gmail.com.
That's what I also have, Judge. Again, for this case, I am going to ask for that reset to that February date. I do believe this can be resolved. I just want an opportunity, like I said, to file a substitution of counsel, follow back up with Mr. Coleman, and also receive that offer from the state in this case.
Your Honor, I'm going to put that on the record. It is
Go ahead.
12 months to serve 30 days, the balance on probation, a family violence intervention program, and 40 hours of community service, and to have no contact with the named victim, Jasmine Clark.
And Judge, since we're just receiving again that offer today, I want Mr. Coleman to have that opportunity to really process that offer. So we are again asking for that next reset.
All right. Is there any credit for time served, or was it 30 days?
It's 30 days, Your Honor. I'm not sure if he served time upon arrest. I would take a look, but of course he would get credit for any time he served upon arrest.
And I'm checking right now, Judge Odyssey, just to see what the jailing says. And it says, I have some booking here. It looks like 9 days. I just want to make sure that I have that correct. Hold on.
I have 9 days.
Okay, I just want to make sure that was correct.
Yeah.
And that booking number is 201-2853.
Yes.
So yes, Judge, again, this is asking for jail time. So I like an opportunity to really speak to Mr. Coleman. We're going to go over some more discovery. And I think we'll have a resolution before that next court date.
Miss Riley, what's the name of the alleged victim in this case?
Jasmine Clark.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure it's not the same one. All right. All right, Mr. Coleman, we're going to see you back in person on February 3rd at 9 a.m. And you, hopefully Miss Helen would have reached out to you and to discuss the terms of the plea offer.
Okay.
All right. Any questions?
No, Judge. Is Mr. Coleman excused?
Yes, he is. Thank you. You're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The next case, Miss Helen?
The next case that I have, and I've spoken to these two people, they're on line, they're on the Zoom call. I've spoken to, I believe that's Jolene Lukes. She is a case already being represented by our office. I've just inherited that case, but I would still like the state to give the offer for this case. And then I would like time to enter my substitution of counsel and then go over that offer with Ms. Lukes.
All right, this is position 32, Jolene Laree Lukes. She is present on Zoom. And Ms. Lukes, it looks like you're going to be represented by Ms. Catrice Helen with the Public Defender's Office. Would you like to proceed with her? You need to unmute.
Yes.
Okay. And what is the offer for this case?
Your Honor, this is my case. And just to put on the record, initial discovery was filed January 3rd, 2023. To the Public Defender's Office, I made PD Howard aware as it looks like Mr. Williams and Mr. Sellers are not anymore with the PD's office.
Correct.
So the offer is for the battery is 12 months to serve 20 days, credit for time served 3 days, balance probated, 12-week anger management, no contact with the victim, to stay away from the incident location, and the state will no pros the remaining charges.
Okay, that is the offer. I'm going to reset this case to February 3rd, 2023 at 9 a.m. Ms. Lukes, this is going to be an in-person hearing.
Okay.
All right. It's February 3rd, 2023 at 9 a.m. And you would need to appear in court along with your attorney, Ms. Helen, to see if any resolution can be reached. We did not have success with your mail. So are you still at the Washington Street location?
Yes, ma'am.
And let me check that, Judge, see if there is an apartment number.
Apartment
10.
We had a return mail. Oh, it was sent to someone at, oh, that was to the, was that to the, no, well, disregard that then. Okay. All right, so, and do you have a phone number, Miss Helen?
I do have a phone number, a 9366. Is that correct, Ms. Lukes?
Yes.
Okay, and Judge, I was just looking at that return to sender under her case. It looks like it went to a 100 Peachtree Street, which would be the public defender's office. So,
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Mhm. So yes, Judge, we would just like a little bit more time. Again, I think that offer is asking for jail time. So we just want an opportunity to give more instruction to Ms. Lukes and submit a substitution of counsel.
February 3rd, in person, 9 a.m. Thank you. You're free to go, Ms. Lukes. Thank you.
And PD Helen, please, if you need anything else that you need to take a look at, please get in touch with me. I'm handling this case.
And thank you so much for that. I apologize, Judge. I'm also just going to get the ASGs on this. So that's Tortorello. Okay. And for Mr. Coleman's case, the ASG, which ASG was that, Riley? Okay, wanted to make sure. My last case, Judge, is number 46, Tonisha Temple. I have received her phone number. Judge, for this case, again, I inherited it. I want to enter my substitution of counsel. I haven't
just 1 second. Tonisha Temple, case has been null crossed.
Oh, okay.
Signed off today. Is Ms. Temple present?
She's on Zoom call, Judge.
Ms. Temple, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Okay, the state has decided to close this case out and not pursue prosecution. So the matter is closed. You're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
And thank you, Judge.
Okay, that was your only other case, right?
That is correct, Judge. I don't know if there were other people looking to speak to a public defender, but those were the cases that I've been assigned.
There was a gentleman, a person on currently in the chat. It just says iPhone, and it says that they just submitted an application to our office. They're currently in Baltimore for a funeral, and they're kind of freaking out a little bit because they either don't have access to the computer or don't know how to do the fillable form. So it just says iPhone. So can that person please either put your name or turn on your camera or and unmute yourself and make an announcement?
Okay. Just 1 second. If
Sure.
Attorney Tom Ford is present on the Zoom, he's free to go.
Thank you. The notice I got actually on is for every day for the next several
Because
weeks.
you are so popular, that's why.
No. It's because of the announcement for trial yesterday. That's what it was.
All right. No, you don't have a case with us today. You're good.
But what about, I've got the same notice for next week and next week. So I guess I'm trying to figure out, what do I ignore? I've got the same notice I got today and invitation for every week. This calendar, next week. I'm happy to show up.
Excuse me, Judge, but Mr. Ford does have a case with me next week. I'm not sure I believe it is on the 13th. Mr. Percy Anderson.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm aware of that one, but that's all the other
Okay.
new ones I picked up that
Yeah, I think, if you got a message for Kevin Corrales, yeah, though you can disregard those.
Well, I guess, what I'm saying is the same
Except for
notice
the-
to put me on, the same notice to put me on today's calendar, I've received for the rest of the month on this calendar.
I'm not certain, sir. Monica.
So I'm trying,
Monica Redden is going to call you and clarify the calendar with you. Okay,
Thanks
we've
so
got your
much.
phone number on. Well, yeah. All right. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Ford.
you. Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay, so we have a few people who still want to speak to the public defender's office. Let me just check. Desmond McLeod.
Present, ma'am.
All right, and who's your attorney?
My attorney is Mr. Christopher Campbell.
And is Mr. Campbell present? He's not?
I don't think he is, but he told me that he may be running a little late. But to make sure that I'm present myself, ma'am.
All right, we'll hold for Mr. McLeod.
Okay.
Who's the prosecutor in this case? This is Desmond McLeod.
That's me, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Riley?
No, I'm sorry, ASG Tortorello.
Ms. Tortorella. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Paris Johnson?
You know, that's my case. He, and again, I have not talked to him. That's the case where there's a lot of mental health issues. I haven't talked to him in the last 2 days. He was rejected by the state mental health court on Tuesday, or when, well, actually Wednesday.
Might have to go to that mic so that he can hear you too, sir. Thank you.
Paris Johnson.
Yeah.
That case has mental health issues. He's the one who's been coming to court every time with his father. He's on Zoom today. That case got rejected by the state mental health court on Wednesday afternoon, and I have not had time to discuss it, but we would ask the court to reset it so we can try to work out some other kind of resolution of this case.
May I approach Georgie Forley, the coordinator for mental health court?
Yeah, if you'd like to come forward, we need you on the mic as well. Or if you
But
want.
I don't want her discussing this case after the message I got.
You might have gotten that message from, because we just staffed Mr. Johnson's case for the second time this morning, the mental health court did. And so I don't know who it was that.
I've got it here. Here it is right here.
Yeah, we had an order from March 2022.
No, that's not it. I'm sorry. Even the wrong.
He withdrew from mental health court last year.
Yeah.
And he did come back, and Mr. Bartell spoke with him in December, I believe it was. Mr. Johnson contacted myself as coordinator and our team. And oh, that's felony court.
Oh, sorry.
And so we were willing to allow, we staffed him again this morning under Judge Porter's direction, and the team, prosecutor and defense attorneys all agreed to readmit these two state court cases back into the mental health court.
I've only got one right now with him, but
the other one's scheduled for an Orca on the 16th, and both cases used to be in the mental health court until Mr. Johnson withdrew.
And that's correct. We don't have any problem with that information.
Yes, Your Honor, and that other open case is 20 CR.
Yeah, I've got it. 20 CR 004258E.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Can I remove both these cases from G33?
Yes, we're asking for both cases to return to the misdemeanor mental health court.
And do we have a date certain?
Yes, he would need to appear on the 13th.
January 13th?
Yes, Judge.
9 a.m.?
Yes, 9:30 a.m.
Where?
2C, and we will, the program manager and the case manager will reach out to him about that.
Okay.
And I will send over, I guess, directly to you, the transfer. We have a transfer
Yes, please.
order.
If you can make sure it's sent directly to me,
you.
to Miss Younger, and she'll make sure I get it. For both cases.
For both cases.
List both cases. All right. All right, Mr. Johnson, did you understand what's going on?
Yes, Your Honor, I heard a little bit, but I couldn't hear everything because of technical difficulties. So could you give me a quick summary of what was just stated?
You have two cases with me,
Yes, ma'am.
but both cases are now going to the mental health court.
Yes, Your Honor, both
cases. Right.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
Do you
Your
have
Honor.
a pen and paper?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready.
You have to be in the courtroom 2C, C as in cat, at 185 Central Avenue in downtown Atlanta. You have to be there on January 13th, which is next Friday, in person, and you have to be there by 9:15 a.m. Court starts at 9:30. You have to go through security, so definitely be in the courthouse by 9:15.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm transferring both your cases back to the mental health court. This one as well as 20 CR 004258E. So we removed from the January 16th count. Well, that's for me to know. Do you have
Yes,
any
Your-
questions?
No, Your Honor.
He can contact me later. Again, apparently I got the felony notes,
All right.
not the misdemeanor note.
All right. Mr. Johnson, do you have Attorney Rafal's number?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Contact him if you have any questions.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. You're free to go. Thank you.
What's your name and number?
Thank you.
I can't read it, right?
3-5418.
She won't come up with phone. She's gonna come up with phone. She will turn it off. Is she here? Yes. Miss Camille. I don't understand what she's asking for, but she's represented by Mr. Watson. She is, she won't be on the phone anymore. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Okay. We good, Mr. Raffo? Okay, so I'm just trying to find the names on the screen. So Rashad Hunter. Rashad Hunter.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Hunter, who's your attorney?
I don't have one.
Have you reached out to the public defender's office?
No.
All right. How do you choose? How are you choosing to represent yourself?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Rashad Hunter, case number 20 CR 005964E, is accused of battery domestic violence on December 8th, 2020. Mr. Hunter, in this particular case, you do have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, you could have applied for one. But if you choose to represent yourself, you're responsible for the impact of any legal decision that you make. Are you prepared to represent yourself?
Yes.
All right. Let me go ahead and pull this up. 21, here we go. This is position 21 on the calendar. Who's the prosecutor, please?
Sarita Githier, handling it for Ms. Marshall's story.
And what is the offer in this case, Ms. Githier?
The offer is 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days, balance probated, family violence intervention program, 40 hours of community service, no contact with Kezia, K-E-Z-I-O Love Smith, stay away from 1829 Campbellton Road in Atlanta, and to have a peaceful third-party custody transfer.
And third-party transfer, okay, all right. All right, Mr. Hunter, that is the plea offer that has been made by the prosecutor in this case in exchange for a guilty plea on this charge. So basically, they were required to be on probation to complete 6 months of classes, 40 hours community service, no contact with Ms. Lovesmith, and allow for third-party transfer of any child that you share with Ms. Smith.
Well, I think I would have to get an attorney because we're married. We're legally married now, and I don't see that working. We're married. Do you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah, I did.
Excuse me, Judge, I'm also here. If you can hear me, I'm sorry, just to come in. I'm Kezia Lovesmith.
Okay. And Ms. Lovesmith, have you been in touch with the Victim Advocates Division of the Solicitor's Office?
No, ma'am, I wasn't aware.
Okay. I'm going to reset this case to February 3rd, 2023. I'm sorry, repeat?
I spoke to the victim on December 21st.
Mm-hmm. And did she indicate that she was married and wants contact?
No, she did.
I did tell her I was married. And I told her that today was our daughter's birthday.
Okay, all right. Okay, Ms. Lovesmith, I understand that you are both presently married. Congratulations.
Thank you
And
so much.
hopefully that things have not been, everything has been good since then. Mr. Turner, Mr. Hunter is under a no further violent contact bond order. So Ms. Githier is, there been a recommendation, a modification of your plea offer?
Yes, Your Honor, we will modify it to no further violent contact, but all the other conditions will still remain the same.
So you're going to
Yes,
still
ma'am.
require him to do 6 months of classes and 40 hours of voluntary community service, although they can still continue to live as man and wife. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right? Mr. Hunter, that's the offer right now.
Nah, I'm gonna reschedule. I'm gonna have to get an attorney because that wasn't in the offer when I went. I'm not.
All right. So you're going to come down to the courthouse in person on February 3rd, 2023 at 9 a.m. with your attorney. I'm going to reset the case. This is the final reset to February 3rd. Are you writing this down?
Yes, give me a sec.
Judge, is it okay if I let him understand what you're saying? I don't understand if he know what you're explaining to him.
All right. Well, he can always tell me he doesn't understand. So right now, his next court date is February 3rd, 2023. Did you write that down, Mr. Hunter?
Yes, ma'am.
At 9 a.m. in courtroom G33. You have to appear in person with your attorney. There will be no further resets. Your case was arraigned on December, well, actually it was a waiver of arraignment filed on December 9th, 2020. So which means that I'm going to issue a case management order and your attorney would have to be prepared to go to trial or to take a plea offer at that time. Understood?
Somewhat. Yes, ma'am.
So you don't want to do that because you don't understand.
What you mean?
Like
All right,
she's
no, this is not a conversation for both of you to have on Zoom.
I'm sorry.
All right. So that means, Mr. Hunter, when you show up in court on February 3rd, make sure your attorney understands that he or she has to be prepared for the plea or for trial.
Oh, all right.
And you have to be here in person, no Zoom.
Yes.
All right, thank you. You're free to go. See you on the 3rd of February. Ms. Githier, have you spoken to Ms. Stokes about Mr. ICAD?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what's the information?
Judge, I had a conversation with her and we are asking the court to continue this to the next status conference. There was some communications and evidence that I got to the previous attorney that is nowhere in their file. So I've re-provided that information to Ms. Story as well as Ms. Geither today. And hopefully we can get some resolution before the next time we have to appear.
Has this case been arraigned?
Yes, it has, Judge.
All right. So we final reset to February 3rd at 9 a.m. for a plea. Or if y'all want to make a demand for trial, then make sure you put that demand in there and we'll schedule it on the Orca jury trial calendar.
Judge, we've already demanded for trial.
Oh, okay. Then I'm
yes,
going
ma'am.
to, yeah. Make sure it goes on the Orca jury trial calendar as well. Put position 22. Reset February 3rd for final status and then put it also on the Orca jury trial calendar. It's already been arraigned. Okay, thank you, Ms. Stokes. You're free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
And
Have a
your-
good weekend.
You too, and your client as well, Mr. Icod, okay? Ms. Githia, you want to talk to Ms. Watson as well regarding Stewart?
Yes, Your Honor, we've been communicating via email.
Okay, so that is Ms. Stewart still on the Zoom? Mr. Shaw Watson. He has, you are going to talk to Mr. Watson, who's going to talk about his client Stewart Rogers and Bibliani Rosado.
Let me get back on this call. Judge, I apologize, and I appreciate the court's indulgence on letting me talk to my clients. Miss Rogers, Laquana Rogers, who I believe is in court, has accepted the state's offer of a null pros in exchange for the state's request on that.
Well, let me go ahead. Mr. Who's the prosecutor in Laquana Rogers? She's here in the courtroom, right? Yeah.
It's Ms. Tortorello, Your Honor.
Oh, Mr. And what you're giving a compliance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Recommendation? Okay, what's the compliance recommendation?
That she testify against the cross-defendant at trial.
Okay.
Well, I wanted the state to say it, not me, Jim.
And the state does find that she is the victim in this matter.
And who is the cross-defendant, please?
Give me 1 second. I believe it's Bryant. Hold on. Butler. He's on the on this calendar, I believe.
All right. Lester Butler. All right, I've already granted a bench warrant for that. Okay. In that case, Ms. Rogers, is she present? Oh, so have you decided to accept? Well, come all the way around to the podium. All right, Ms. Rogers, it appears that the state has made an offer with you. And in the event that Mr. Butler's case goes to trial and that you comply with the state's requirement, then it appears that they will dismiss the case, the charges against you.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Which means that this is still an open pending case against you.
Okay.
All right. And this, I'm going to reset this. Well, it's going to be a bench warrant, so it's just going to be reset indefinitely until Mr. Butler's case goes to trial. Is that your understanding, Ms. Tortorello?
Yes, Your Honor, until the cross-defendant is found. And Ms. Rogers would have to come to the solicitor's office and write a statement, and it'll be a written affidavit, Your Honor. And then we'll do the no pros.
All right. Ms. Rogers' case is just going to, we're just going to reset it pending the arrest of Mr. Butler. We don't have a date to reset it to.
Well, Judge, I was going to ask you if the state is needing an affidavit from my client, can't she just...
No, Mr. Watson, she's going to appear in person. Now, Ms. Tortorello, you have her contact information, her address, and you have Mr. Watson's contact information. You can reach out to them and get whatever you need. Now, whether they're going to comply, that's up to them.
Yes, Your Honor. What were you saying, counsel?
Well, maybe I misunderstood you, Ms. Tortorello. I thought you mentioned something about Ms. Rogers filling out an affidavit with respect to the cross-defendant, Mr. Butler. And then you using, I don't know if that's something that you were going to use at trial, actually have her come to trial. I just don't want, I apologize, Judge, but I just don't want her out here indefinitely.
If I'm the judge doing that trial, I'm not going to take the affidavit.
Understood.
Everybody's on the same page on that?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Ms. Rogers, you will have to appear in person at trial in order for this agreement to go through.
Okay, I get a paper letter in again.
You have to keep in touch with your attorney, Mr. Watson.
Okay.
And when he calls you to show up in court, and if you don't, well, then a bench warrant will issue against you.
Okay.
All right, thank you. You're free to go.
Thank you. Yeah, have a good weekend.
All right, Mr. Watson, you had Miss Stewart as well, position 43. What's your
Yes,
announcement?
Judge. Yes, Judge. I need to, I've been talking with the state via email about this case, and I think we're 99% of the way there. There's just an outside matter that I need to talk to the state about. So if we can reset this matter for a plea.
It's a final, it's going to be reset for a final plea, February 3rd, 2023, in person, no Zoom. Ms. Stewart, you will need to come down to courtroom G33 and to see if your case can be closed out by a plea at that time. All right. Any other questions, Mr. Watson, for Ms. Stewart?
No, Judge, that's fine.
All right. One last matter, Mr. Watson. Who is the alleged victim for the case of Bibliani Rosado, position number 6?
Um,
I think there was a cross defendant in the Rosado case, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor, there is a co-defendant, Tonisha Temple.
But she's not a cross defendant. No. Okay, come all the way across to the podium.
Position 46.
All right, what's the?
She was initially, Your Honor, her case was null pros in exchange, again, for her testimony against Mr.
Let's find out who's gonna, y'all can see the person in the courtroom, if you please raise your hand, okay. And what's your name?
Camille DeSanta Henry. I'm on his bail.
Camille?
Camille.
Last name?
DeSanta Henry. D-A-S like Sam A-N-T-A hyphen Henry.
And H-E-N-R-Y?
Mm-hmm. And it's Camille with a K.
Camille with a K. All right, got that. Okay. Is Mr. Bibliani Rosado still? Yeah, he's still here. Okay. All right. And you said the cross defendant is Temple, right?
Yes, Your Honor. She was position 46.
And Tonisha Temple is present.
No.
She was, that case was null pros.
Her case was null pros, Your Honor.
The case was null pros. Okay, she's still here though. I see on the Zoom. Okay. All right. Mr. Watson, what's your status on Mr. Rosado?
Judge, I've discussed the state's offer of disorderly conduct with my client, and he's agreed to accept that. So we would need to reset this to another plea calendar. Judge, he lives in Jacksonville. So if I can get the
Florida?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I've driven to Jacksonville, so he can drive up here.
Okay.
He needs to be in court on February 3rd at 9 a.m. for a final plea in person. Mr. Rosado, do you need direct the address? It's 160 Pryor Street, Atlanta, Georgia, 30303, courtroom G33.
Courtroom
G, as in gorilla, 33.
Can I have the zip code one more time, please?
30303.
And what was that date, ma'am?
February 3rd, it's a Friday at 9 a.m. All right, and Mr. Watson, make sure that you contact the prosecutor to get all the plea paperwork. Make sure they're signed and executed before you all show up in court.
Will do, Judge.
All right. Now, the other issue, Ms. Henry posted bond for Mr. Bibliani Rosado. How much did you pay for the bond?
It wasn't, I think it was, I don't even remember, but he paid me back for the bond. That's not the case. The case is we no longer speak, and I just don't want to be on his bond anymore. Like, I don't want to be that person.
Okay. Since you've already obtained the bond, and the bond really applies to Mr. Rosado, and if he doesn't show up in court, then the bond is forfeited, and you really have no financial obligation. You're not going to be legally responsible for him for failure to appear.
Okay, perfect.
The
That's
only
what I need.
person who is in trouble if they fail to appear will be Mr. Rosado. A bench warrant will be issued for his arrest.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure I can go on my honeymoon.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Happy trails. You're
Thank
free to
you.
go.
Have a great day.
You too. All right. Mr. Watson, I believe that was the only other case that we had with you. Yes, sir?
That is correct, Judge. And just so I'm clear, for February 3rd, court starts at 9?
Yes, sir.
All right, Judge. Good to see you as always.
You too. Take care. Mr.
Take care.
Rosado, you're free to go. See you on the 3rd of February. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rafoff, have you made your discussion with Ms. Dudley?
Yes, Ms. Dudley, we were last at and put on a final plea calendar. She was under the impression she was already on probation in this case, but she's been reporting to pretrial for over 2 years.
Okay, Ms. Dudley, just walk all the way around to the podium.
So we just asked her to be put on a final plea. She actually did some anger management courses during her pretrial release. So I'd like to talk to Ms. Dudley about this. It looks like it's a plea, but
Let me go ahead and. So, Ms. Dudley, I've already advised you of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is Mr. Ruffle. This was a charge that was brought against you on November 20th, 2020. The incident was in November of 2020. You were at the Fulton County Jail on November 21st, and you got a bond. Do you recall that? Yes. Okay. Since then, there has now. Let me just pull up your bond order. And were you reporting to pretrial?
yes, Your Honor, I talked to her pretrial officer this morning, but
Okay.
I was trying to figure out why she thought she was already on probation.
No, there's no disposition in this case. You've just been reporting to pretrial as a condition of your bond.
Okay.
There has been no disposition. So right now, what the prosecution is willing to do is reduce the charge from a violent offense of simple battery to disorderly conduct. And if you have done the anger management classes, which
She did 2.
with which school did you do anger management? classes?
I did it through a life coaching program. So I don't know, I don't have a certificate for that. So I'm not
If
sure.
you don't have a certificate, then you'll need to do the 6 anger management classes. And then they require you to do 40 hours of community service and have no violent contact with the alleged victim. If you complete the anger management classes and the community service, I will terminate your probation. So if that's something you'd like to consider, I can reset the case to February 3rd for a final plea.
Okay. Can I accept that now or I have to wait?
Ms. Riley, do we have the documents ready for this case?
No, Your Honor, because it will be reduced to disorderly conduct. And so the clerk's office would not be able to accept the amended charge. I would have to amend the charge. So I would ask for it to be a final plea date for me to
It'll
have.
be February 3rd.
Okay.
But there's nothing to stop you from start doing the community service now.
Okay.
If you plan to take this plea offer, you can start doing community service now. Just make sure that wherever you do it, the supervisor keeps track of your hours.
Okay. And you said a nonprofit
It
organization?
has to be a nonprofit organization like Goodwill, Salvation Army, the Food Bank, my daughter's favorite, Animal Rescue, things like that. Okay. And if you want to get a head start on the anger management program classes, there are qualified programs for schools that give these classes, but they will give you a certificate as well.
Okay.
And that's what you require. If you're with pretrial, ask your pretrial officer. There's some programs that offer free anger management classes.
Okay. Thank you.
But just give you a head start. You need to come back to court on February 3rd in person. Your documents will be ready and hopefully Mr. Raffa will have sent it to you before then for signature and review.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. February 3rd for final plea.
Am I okay to go?
Yes, you are. Thank you very much. Were you waiting to talk to anyone else, Mr. Raffa?
Yes, on number 10, Haley Denson. I did talk to her again, and she rejects the state's offer. And she asked me to give the letter to the solicitor's office from the bench.
Where is Ms.
Miss
Denson?
Riley, I think.
I'm here on Zoom, Your Honor.
All right.
And she's on Zoom. Miss Jensen is on Zoom. No, I can't get it straight. I didn't.
All right, so the offer's been rejected and this case is, do you want to place it, has this case been arraigned?
I don't believe it had. Your Honor, I just got the case.
Understood.
I doubt if it's been arraigned, but again, I only had the file for 1 week. It says it came from a plea and arraignment calendar, but
Yeah, it did, from Judge Morrison's plea and arraignment calendar. All right. So, Mr. Rothoff, do you want to file a waiver of arraignment or shall I arraign the case?
yes, I can file a waiver.
Okay. Ms. Denson's entering a not guilty plea and the case, and I'm going to place it on the Orca jury trial calendar. And a case management order is to issue.
And it's gonna be in March, apparently.
No, the bench trial is in March. But the state's requiring jury trials for these
Well,
type
jury
of
trial's
cases.
fine, yes, that's fine.
Okay. Ms. Denson, please make sure that you update us with any changes of your contact information, address, and so forth. Your attorney is Mr. Ruffo. Your case is going to be placed on a jury trial calendar. This is, of course, pending whatever information the state gets from this letter you produced.
And Your Honor, for the record, Ms. Denson did reach out to me in the chat.
Okay.
And she asked for my email address. I did provide that to her and asked her to make her public defender aware, which I believe she has. So I am in receipt of the letter. But I
Okay.
just wanted that on the record that she did reach out to me without advice of counsel.
All right. Ms. Denson, do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am. So I'm just waiting essentially for a jury date. Okay.
And you will have to be present in court in person. And so you need to maintain continuous contact with your attorney to be prepared for trial.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're free to go.
I'll change the letter that Mr. Raphael provided to me from the victim.
Okay. Victim advocate also has a copy of the letter.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Is Mr. Campbell here yet for Mr. McLeod? No? Okay.
Yes, I'm here, Judge.
Oh,
Good
there you
morning.
are. Mr. Campbell, good morning. Yes.
Yes,
And
Judge.
go ahead.
Yes, I have discovery, but the state is going to send me the body camera videos. So I would request just one more reset, just so that I can review the body camera footage.
That's correct, Your Honor. We're still working on getting the video to Attorney Campbell.
This case has been pending since October 2020. If there's any body cam footage, it should already have been in existence, yes?
Your Honor, this is an old case, and respectfully, I just got on this case. In our records, in our notes, it states that we provide the investigator at that time, way back when, gave it on a disc to the custodian in our office. The only thing we got to do is find it, see if we still have it in the file, upload it on evidence.com, or have to re-request this body worn camera. It's an old case.
All right. The case has been arraigned on February 10th, 2021. We're going to generate a case management order for this matter. I'm going to reset it to February 3rd, 2023. This is going to be an in-person appearance. And this is going to either be reset for a status or a final plea. Otherwise, we put it on a jury trial calendar.
Understood, Judge. And I believe this is the first time it's been on a status calendar.
It's been on
So-
calendar, sir. It's an old case. It needs to get cracking.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. McLeod, see you in person on February 3rd with your attorney. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, I have someone called Harry Galaxy Note. I have no idea who you are. And then the rest of you, if you are a defendant waiting for the court to address your case, you need to have your video started and your proper name on the screen. So I have a Galaxy A12. Oh, Mr. Icard, you're free to go. Your attorney has spoken to the prosecutor.
Yeah, I think
And get in touch with your attorney.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. McLeod, you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, okay, the rest of you, I don't have names to put to you. Henry Galaxy Note, the gentleman in a black and white check shirt with a beard, and a lady wearing a black dress with some print on it is listed as iPhone. And someone trying to put his or her glasses on, you're listed as Galaxy A12. If you want to unmute, I can address your case.
How you doing, Your Honor? I'm Henry.
All right. Yes, sir. Gentleman with a beard. What's your name?
Henry Taylor.
Henry Taylor. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Taylor is position number 44, accused of battery, domestic violence, case number 20 CR 006-205E. Mr. Taylor, are you represented by counsel?
I did retain a lawyer.
What does in between a lawyer mean?
I apologize. I said I did retain an attorney. I haven't had a chance to speak with him yet.
Whatever you got, send me, I'll check the phone.
This case has been around since December 2020. You were released on a signature bond. Your case was arraigned the same day you received a signature bond. And we have no idea who your attorney is. Discovery has already been filed in this case. So
I apologize.
today was the day to show up with your attorney.
Well, I just received the paperwork not too long ago, or this letter not too long ago. Before then, I only went to see a pretrial advisor, and I had no knowledge.
Your next court date is your next court date, and Ms. Younger, I'm going to squeeze him in on this one. January 20th, 2023 at 9 a.m. You're going to be in the courtroom in person with your attorney.
Okay.
All right. Who's the prosecutor in this case?
Sarita Githier, Your Honor.
Ms. Githier, what's the offer for Mr. Taylor?
It is 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served, 2 days, family violence intervention program, 40 hours of community service, and no further violent contact with the victim via VIA right, WRIGHT.
All right. Mr. Taylor, did you understand the terms of that plea offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Would you like to consider it?
I would like to speak with my attorney on those matters.
We will see you and your attorney on January 20th, 2023. Hopefully you've written down that plea offer so that you can convey that to your attorney. And I expect you and your attorney to be in the courtroom.
Okay.
Otherwise, you don't want to deal with me that day. You might not be leaving the courtroom that day. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Good. Okay. Thank you. Galaxy A12. I have no clue who you are. It's a gentleman wearing glasses with a picture in his background. Who is it?
Leon Taylor.
Leon James Taylor.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Taylor's case is 20 CR 003-196E, accused of simple battery domestic violence from September 3rd, 2018. Who's the prosecutor in this case?
That is also me, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Taylor, Leon Taylor, who's your attorney?
I don't have one representing myself.
All right. Ms. Githier, what is the plea offer for Mr. Leon Taylor?
It is 12 months probation, 2 anger management classes, 20 hours of community service, alcohol drug evaluation and treatment, and no further violent contact with the victim, Karen Taylor.
Did you understand that offer, Mr. Taylor?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, I did, but I had one thing that me and Miss Karen Taylor are divorced right now, but we're currently dating as like her name is Karen
Yeah,
Mitchell at the time.
the offer is no further violent contact, which means that you can still communicate, date, be in touch, as long as there's no physical or verbal altercations.
All right, so I mean, I want to get this understanding because I don't have a violent history as far as abusing people, right? You know what I'm saying? So this was an incident. I ain't got to get involved in it, but she just jumped out the bed and everything. But so if she says anything again, like, oh, well, you touched me and everything, I'll be in more trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're still dating right now. As far as we're not married, but we're still dating. So would it be like I'll be like a history of a violent offender or something like that? I don't want that on my record. You know what I'm saying?
This will be I will accept a no contest, and as long as you comply with the conditions of your probation, you should not be in any trouble.
All right, I'll take a no contest. Yes, ma'am. I'll do that.
All right. Ms. Gutierrez, are the plea paperwork ready to go today?
No, it's not, Your Honor. I
Okay.
can prepare it.
For today?
You can give me a few minutes. I can get it in about a few
All right.
minutes.
And Mr. Taylor, do you have a computer where you can receive the documents, review it, sign it,
Yes,
and send it back?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right. What's your email?
My email is Leotis, Leotis 98 @gmail.com.
That is LEOTIS98 @gmail.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Sarah Githier, it will send you the plea paperwork. You will need to print them up, review them, fill out the appropriate boxes where you've agreed to plead no contest to simple battery domestic violence with the terms 12 months to be on probation, complete 2 anger management classes, complete 20 hours of community service, 1 alcohol and drug evaluation, and have no violent contact with Karen Taylor.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Please make sure that you are not allowed to leave the the Zoom until this is closed out from the plea. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Githier, you have his email?
Yes, I wrote it down, Your Honor.
All right. So position 45, we'll be having a plea hearing this morning. Okay, Mr. Taylor, you may mute your screen, but make sure you get your computer all fired up and ready to go. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Appreciate it.
Ms. Malika Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Malika Williams is position 51, 20 CR 002-170E. Ms. Malika Williams is accused of 2 counts of reckless conduct, dog at large, and no county tag. All right. Ms. Williams, who is your attorney?
I don't have one, and I was trying to, I was in the chat and he sent me the application for the public defender, but because I'm using my cell phone, I'm in Baltimore for my aunt's funeral today at 1, and I wasn't able to download it. So I was trying to see, what do I do from here?
You're going to come down to the courthouse on January 20th in person.
Okay.
And you're going to speak to the public defender's office before that date and make sure that you get a determination as to whether you qualify for the public defender's office. If you do not qualify, I expect you to be in the courtroom with your attorney, your privately retained attorney. If you choose to represent yourself, you're responsible for all decisions that you make and how it impacts your situation.
Okay, so once I'm able to just download the application, fill it out and bring it with me, or how would I speak to them?
Ms. Williams, listen very carefully. Before January 20th, 9 a.m., where you have to be in the courtroom, you must already have received the decision from the public defender's office as to whether they can represent you or not.
Okay.
Right? So that means tomorrow onwards, you need to get on the ball.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
make sure you reach out, contact them and get confirmation.
Yes, ma'am.
They say you do not qualify, you need to make sure that you hire your own attorney and that you are both in the courtroom on January 20th,
Okay.
9 a.m. in courtroom G33.
G33. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, Miss Githier, what, is it Miss Githier? Yeah.
Yes,
What's
Your
the
Honor.
plea offer from Miss Williams?
It is for count one, 12 months probation, a $750 fine or 75 hours of community service, complete an animalcourts.com online course, and restitution to Stacy Walker. That amount is to be determined. Ms. Walker is working on getting all the bills.
Can you give me the website for that class again?
Animalcourts.com.
I completed that course recently. I also had another case after this one where the dog got loose and I did an animal courts online. So do I have to do another one?
If you have, when did you do the animal.com's program?
It was last year.
No, you have to do another one.
Okay.
That one's too old.
Okay.
All right.
Continue with the offer, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay. Count two merges into count one with the plea agreement. Count three is 6 months probation, a $400 fine, or 40 hours of community service concurrent. And count four, if Ms. Williams has obtained a license, a Fulton County license tag, that count will be no. If not, it would be a $200 fine and 6 months probation.
Yeah, I don't have the dog anymore.
You don't have the dog anymore?
No, I gave him up for adoption to the Fulton County Animal Shelter June of 2020.
Okay. So I guess count four will be null prost.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So Ms. Williams, do come back to court. Otherwise, if you want to consider this offer, we can close the case out today.
Yes, I would like to consider this offer.
But you are not in a position to receive the paperwork to fill them out and everything, correct?
Not right now, no ma'am.
Okay. So what's your email?
Malika, MELIEKA 30.
MEI?
No, MELIE.
IEKA.
Yes, 33 at Gmail.
All right, you'll receive an email from Ms. Sarah Githier with regard to this proposed plea offer. You need to print that up, complete it, and sign it before you come back to court on January 20th at 9 a.m. You can come back with your attorney, you can come back with the public defense, or you can come back representing yourself.
Okay.
All right?
Just for clarification, Your Honor, what are you asking that I send to her?
The plea offer documents.
Oh, okay.
With count four being null prost. And it's reset on January 20th for a final plea. And Ms. Williams, please
Yes,
be
ma'am.
sure that you show up in person with those documents.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. Do you have any other questions?
No,
All right. You're free to go. Thank you.
thank you.
All right. Are there any other defendants who have not been addressed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Henderson. Yes. A bench warrant has been
ma'am.
issued for you.
For what? I don't know what for. I had trouble getting on here. And I didn't have my links to go to the link, but I was getting on here. I don't call to the courthouse and everything.
What position is that?
They don't.
She's number 25.
All right. Ms. Henderson, have you been in touch with your attorney, Mr. Watson?
I've been trying to get in touch with him for a whole
Honey,
week now.
he has said the
There ain't
same
no
thing
luck.
about you.
I know, because I have a different number and I left my number with the lady. So I don't have no control if he didn't get it, but I called him. I will reach out to him again.
You're going to come back to court in person on January 20th, 2022. If I'm the
right.
judge on the bench, I'm not going to expect you to appear via Zoom. I expect you to appear in person.
All right, I'll be there.
January 20th, I'm going to cancel the bench warrant for
Okay,
Ms. Henderson. It's going to be January 20th at 9 a.m. And what's your attorney's phone number?
I don't.
What's your attorney's phone number?
I don't have his phone number on hand.
You are using your phone, aren't you?
Yes, but his number is not programmed in my phone.
So how have you been calling him?
I've been calling him off my other phone number, which
Go get
off
the
of
other,
paper.
go get that phone number.
Hold on, I'm going to give you my phone number. I don't
No,
have his phone
I
number.
want the number you've been calling your attorney.
I don't have his number in my phone. That's what I'm telling you. His number is on a piece of paper.
I am
that I
this
have.
close to reinstating the bench warrant, this close.
Okay, well, I don't have no control over that, Judge Your Honor. I mean, I can't give you his number. My papers is in my storage.
You gotta calm down, Ms. Henderson. That's the judge.
I understand that, and I apologize, but I cannot get access to something that I don't have.
So you've not been in contact with your attorney?
I called him last week, and I did not get a response back to him. I left my number for her and everything.
Expect you in court on January 20th, 2023. Make sure you get in touch with your attorney, Mr. Shofativa for Watson. Miss Helen, would you happen to have his number, or Miss Redden? Would you happen? Okay. Do not leave the screen, and you need to get a pen and paper and write down this number. I'm not going to take any more stories from you.
Your Honor, I have his number if you need it.
Yes, please.
I just called him. 678.
Hold on a second, please. Oh, okay, you giving this to the judge?
Yes.
Okay.
678.
And you may want to write it down. Ms.
All right, I'll fit to.
654-8407, and he's very responsive.
8407.
Correct.
Read back the number, Miss Henderson.
678-654-8407.
We'll see you in court on January 20th at 9 a.m.
All right.
Thank you.
In person, Your Honor?
In person. She's
be
not
there.
allowed to use Zoom anymore, at least not with me. You're free to go, Miss Henderson. Thank you. All right. Mr. Taylor, have you received, Ms. Githia, have you had a chance to send the documents to Mr. Taylor, Leon Taylor?
I'm almost done with them, Your Honor.
All right, then we'll be in recess until Mr. Taylor receives the documents, signs them, and sends them back to you. Thank you. All right, with respect to the prosecutors, Mr. Brian Gaither with the Public Defender's Office wants to confer about one case. It is 20 CR 001-279E.
Yes. The defendant's name is Christine Hacker. And Ms. Hacker was on the.
Oh, let's find out who's the prosecutor.
I'm sorry.
Let's find out who's the prosecutor first. 20 CR 001.
Is it on this calendar, Your Honor?
No, it's not on the calendar.
She was on the February the 14th status calendar. December the 14th status calendar.
Oh, there was a bench warrant issue.
Yes, and I have an explanation. So what happened, prior counsel, I forgot, Miss Christy Wilson did an excellent job transferring her files. This was one file, however, that did slip through the cracks. I didn't realize it was mine. Miss Hacker was trying to zoom in to the hearing. But what the problem was, she didn't realize that I was a new attorney, and I didn't even realize she was my client. And she was emailing Christy Wilson, hey, look, I can't get in. And of course, the emails went unanswered until after the calendar. And so as I was preparing the files from the 14th and the 15th, and then this was given to me, I realized, oh, okay, oh shoot, this is my case. Oh shoot, it's a bench warrant. And so I called her, and I've been in contact with her all week because I was trying to see when were you going to be on the bench again. Because what I would like to do is bring her before you personally so we can kind of do a redo and then move forward. So I guess I'm trying to see what the state object to Your Honor lifting the bench warrant if you would decide to lift the bench warrant and allow her to come in person before you.
Have you seen those emails?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I didn't copy those emails. I can text them. I can print them and bring them in.
No, I just wanted to say, have you seen the emails?
Yes.
Have you seen the emails where Ms.
Yes.
Hacker attempted to reach Ms.
Yes, and that's what alerted me. I'm like,
Okay.
oh shoot, yeah. She sent an email to Christy saying, hey, look, I'm trying to get into Zoom. But of course it went unanswered because she was no longer employed here.
Ms. Riley, I don't have a problem setting aside the bench warrant and putting it on February 3rd, and she has to appear in person.
Your Honor, the state would, with that explanation, and not have an objection. I'm just trying to locate which calendar this was actually
It was
on.
December 15th, 2022.
Actually, it was the 14th. It was December the 14th,
Was it the
2022. It was a status calendar.
Okay.
It was the 15th. Oh, okay. I wrote the wrong number down. See, well, I messed up all the way around that day.
Yeah, because I didn't see anything on the 14th. So, okay.
All right, Mr. Gaither, if you can send me a proposed order, just setting aside the bench warrant and requiring her to appear in court, G33, 160 Prior Street on February 3rd, 2023, 9 a.m. in person.
Sure, Judge. And how, of course, you want me to file it, email it to you, courtesy copy?
You can email it to Ms. Younger,
Okay.
and the sooner you send it, the sooner the bench warrant will be set aside.
Absolutely. Thank you, Judge. Because I actually have her, on standby on the phone, ready to hear from me. So I just
Okay.
wanted to bring that to everybody's attention.
Okay.
Could the state also be CC'd on that, Mr. Gaither? Both myself
Absolutely.
And Miss Marshall Story.
Marshall Story? Okay,
Yes,
absolutely.
thank you.
All right. We'll be in recess until Mr. Taylor has reviewed his documents. Thank you.
Your Honor, real quickly, I'm sorry, are still there? For clarification, regarding these pleas that are in person for the defendant and their defense attorney, what is the requirement of the state? Are we still allowed to proceed on Zoom?
I'd rather y'all appear in person. Can y'all come in person? I'm telling you, it's very pleasant. It's very safe.
Your Honor, the issue is that
Mr. Gaither brings chocolates.
some of us are contracted only to appear on Zoom, so that is why.
Well, like I said, if those are the provisions, then, but otherwise, in person does seem to get things moving a lot easier and faster.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, we do always provide the paperwork prior to the pleas, so, but I understand the complications with defendants, and it is easier when they appear in person.
I got a question.
Just one second. One second. So, yeah, if y'all can appear in person, great. If y'all are otherwise under a different job requirement, then I can't twist your arms in that.
Yes, Your Honor, but we will make sure that the paperwork is always provided in advance.
Lovely. Okay, thank you. Yes, Mr. Taylor, what's your question?
I got a question for I got three different things that says plea paperwork, verdict form, and they say waiver of rights. So.
Yep, you're gonna have to read all of those. And if you decide to take a plea, you would need to understand what rights you'll be waiving, and if you want to do so. Which
one I gotta sign to send back?
All of them.
Your Honor, to allow Mr. Taylor time to adequately read them and really understand, I have no objection to it being reset.
No, I want him to finish it today.
I want to get a date. I want to get out of the date because I got to work. I want to, because I don't have Zoom. I'm not really computer savvy like that.
So are you, I'm
Yes.
not resetting it. Are you reading it and signing off on it?
Right now it's on my email, so I'm trying to download it. So it says save all attachments, and then it says like you got 3 attachments. So I'm trying to see what I need to do. Do I need to
Are you on a
open up?
computer?
Yes, ma'am. I'm on a home computer. I mean, I got a big old school.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
It's like
Please
a
mute-
like
yeah,
a CPU.
Please mute your screen, get it done, and I'm keeping court open till noon.
I got it. I got it right here. There you go. I got it.
Okay.
It says I got my glasses.
All right, mute your screen, please. Mr. Glanville, if we can mute Leon Taylor, please. Thank you.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Ms. Washington, the Victim Advocate's Office has just informed me that position 24, if you can start your video, please. Yeah, position 24, Lawrence Jackson. He's incarcerated until 2024.
Yes, ma'am. He's at Rogers State Prison until the computer says earliest release January 2024.
Okay. This is an abandonment or dependent child. It's really a child support issue. So I'm going to have to place this case. Ms. Gipia, is that your case?
Yes, I'm handling it for Ms. Marshall's story.
Okay. What would you like to do? I can place it on a dead docket. I can reset it in indefinitely.
And what was the release date, expected release date?
January,
sorry.
January 2024.
If we could reset it for an indefinite date.
Child support. Why don't you just sign him up with a state child support so something be done with? I mean, I'm not his lawyer, but I'm serious. I used to do this all day, every day.
He's going to be incarcerated. Ms. Washington, did you want to pursue this child support issue?
Yes, ma'am. So just to give you a little background, I filed it 2020. He's been incarcerated since 2021. However, the only reason why I did not file with child support agency, I went through a private attorney, and I've been filing like child abandonment myself because he doesn't have a job on file. He never keeps a job on file. So child support kind of takes too long for me to kind of get the money. So that's why I've been pursuing it privately. I would like to possibly, I don't know the court terms, but pause it until he releases it. And maybe I could go back up to the court to kind of refile or resume when he gets released.
I don't have a date right now because we're looking in January of 2024. So presently, I'm just going to put it on the dead docket calendar. Ms. Gipier?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, position 24 is being placed on what we call the dead docket calendar. If Ms. Washington, if you want to have this case readdressed as you get closer to January 2024, maybe around November 2024, get back in touch with the Victim Advocate's Office like you just did and let them know that Mr. Jackson is going to be released very soon. You would like his case back on the calendar.
Okay, now quick question with that. Once I do that, once he is released, would that put a pretty much a hold on his release and transfer him back to Fulton County? Or would
No,
I have to try
no,
to find him again?
he would need to show back up in court. If he doesn't show back up in court, a warrant gets issued for his arrest.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Of course, if you wait for until a year to get this case back on the calendar, the case will be purged, it'll be closed out.
Okay, so today is this is January, so that means a year from now will be January. So like you said,
Around
the end of
November
year.
of this year, around
Okay.
November of this year.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Position 24 is on the debt docket. All right, any other questions from anyone? No? Okay. All right. While we're waiting for Mr. Taylor to fill out his paperwork, I'm just going to go over the calendar. If any of the prosecutors, Ms. Helen want to follow through. Position 1, Addington, is reset January 20th for a final plea in person. Position 2, Michael Ballou. Michael Ballou did not appear.
State would request a bench warrant.
Did we issue a bench warrant in this case before?
I don't know, and I think number 2 was a case where I didn't even get an announcement in the beginning, and I don't know. I don't represent Mr. Ballou,
Okay.
and I don't believe Michael represents him either, Mr. Ross.
He doesn't have, there's no attorney listed.
Okay,
All right. I'm going to grant a bench warrant. The bond is going to be $2,000. It's going to be a $500 surety bond on each count. Position 3, Bankston, is reset to January 20th for a final plea in person. Same announcement for position 4. Position 5, reset February 3rd in-person plea calendar. Position 6, that Bibliani Rosado is reset February 3rd for in-person plea calendar. Position 7 is granted a bench warrant, 300,000 bond. Position 8, Chapman, bench warrant, $300,000 bond. Position 9, Coleman, is reset to February 3rd in person. And I believe this is going to be a pro se plea matter. Okay.
Oh, number 9 is my case, Judge. I'm
Oh,
going
is
to
that
do
your
the
case?
substitution.
Okay, Miss Helen.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to do
Okay,
a
sorry.
substitute counsel. Yes, Judge.
All right. Position 10, a waiver of arraignment is to be submitted. Mr. Ruffoff, the case is reset on the Orca jury trial calendar, a case management order to issue. Position 11, Porsche Dudley, is reset in person for a final plea, February 3rd. Position 12, Icaria Fielder. Icaria Fielder did not sound out.
Your Honor, Rose Woodbury is formerly, I guess, of the PD's office, but the state would be asking for a bench warrant.
Icaria Fielder appears to be in custody.
Okay.
Let me just get the jailing information. Icaria Fielder is in custody. Now it's been booked in on October 18th, 2022. It's been in custody now for 81 days. I can reset this case on a SAP calendar.
Okay.
And the SAP calendar should be 2 weeks from today. So that would be would we be able to get him on the January 19th SAP calendar? I can add some. All right, so I'm going to reset it to tentatively the January 19th SAP calendar as he is in custody and he is represented by the Public Defender's Office. Okay. Position 14, Gonzalez, is reset to January 20th in-person final plea calendar.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, regarding position 13, Timothy Fulton.
Yeah.
Is that?
Oh, that's reset to I'm sorry. Reset SAP January 19. Fulton is reset to February 3rd, represented by conflict Mr. Watson.
Thank you.
14 is reset to January 20th, 9 a.m. final plea calendar in person. 15 is a duplicate. 16, Harris, April Nicole Harris. April Nicole Harris did not sound out.
Your Honor, if they are not in custody, the state would request a bench warrant. And if we could just briefly go back to position 14.
Bench warrant for April Harris is going to be a $2,000 good bond. All right, what about position 14?
Attorney Fisher had a conflict for that morning, Your Honor.
Yeah.
And was asking to appear via Zoom. I'm not sure if his client.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's via Zoom. I forgot. Yeah, he did indicate that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Position 17, Kelia Harris is reset to February 3rd status calendar. Case has been, a waiver of arraignment will be filed by Ms. Tiffany Sims and a case management order to issue. Position 18, Alexander Hill.
Your Honor, I have notes here that ASG Marshall Story, the state, and the opposing counsel, Attorney Schiffer, have agreed to reset the case.
Okay, this case is going to be reset to the February 3rd, 2023 status calendar. Position 19, Robert Hill.
The state will request a bench warrant bond forfeiture.
Right. Granted, it's a $1,500 surety bond.
And Your Honor, for position 18, are they required to appear in person?
18, no.
Okay. Thank you.
Position 20 is a reset on the Orca jury trial calendar. A case management order will issue. Position 21, Hunter, is reset to February 3rd at 9 a.m. in person. A case management order to issue. Position 22 is reset to February 3rd, 2022, but it's also going to be placed on the Orca jury trial calendar. A case management order to issue. Position 23, Carrie Jackson. Carrie Jackson, represented by Kenya Bryant, but did not sound out. Is Kenya Bryant's pretty good about showing up. So any notes with the ASG?
I'm just looking it up. Put your
I have a withdrawal.
Your Honor, the state will request a bench warrant.
Yeah, it looks like Kenya Bryant filed a motion to withdraw. I'm going to go ahead and grant that motion to withdraw.
And Your Honor, I was speaking to Attorney Bryant because she has other cases on this calendar. She did advise she's working now with the Public Defender's Office, and that these people would probably need conflict counsel.
Okay. Miss Helen? Do you know anything about Keisha Jackson? Miss Ryan withdrew back in May of 2021. Miss Jackson has not appeared. Looks like does she need conflict counsel?
Judge, I believe she would. I do think Miss Kenya Bryant was in private practice and was working in different places. So I do, or now she's with the Public Defender's Office. So I do think they'll need a conflict with the position 23.
Okay. Bench warrant is granted. It's a $500 surety bond. Next, position 24, Lawrence Jackson's placed on the dead docket pending the alleged victim's request to reinstate the case on the trial calendar. Position 25, Jill Wandristis, the bench warrant is set aside. Case is reset to January 20th, 2023. In person, Ms. Jill Wandristis has received an offer, but she needs to show up in court on that day. 26, Kendrick Johnson. Kendrick Johnson did not sound out.
State will request a bench warrant bond forfeiture.
All right. Kendrick Johnson is got battery and simple battery. Okay. All right, bench warrant, bond is going to be set at 2,000, 1,500 on battery, 500 on simple battery. Position 27.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, if you could quickly go back to position 24. I was not writing fast enough.
Okay. Is 24, Jackson is placed on the dead docket. He's in custody, incarcerated until January 2024. It will be reinstated on the Orca calendar once the alleged victim lets us know of her intent back in November of 2024, or 23, excuse me.
Thank you.
Okay. Cases placed on the dead docket calendar, they stay there for 1 year. If there's no activity, they get dismissed. So it's sua sponte. So just FYI, okay?
Thank you.
Jumping forward to position 27, Harris Johnson. His two cases, which I've already listed, are being moved back to mental health court. His court date is January 16th in courtroom 2C at 9:30 a.m. Was it January? Sorry, I mean, was it January 16th or January? No, January
January
13th.
13th.
January
13th, January 13th, excuse me. At courtroom 2C at 9:30 a.m. Okay. Position 28, Lauren Kennedy, did not sound out.
State will be requesting a bench warrant bond forfeiture.
All right. Bond is going to be set at 1,500 on each count. Crystal Lee. Crystal Lee.
Your Honor, the state will be requesting bench warrant bond forfeiture. Again, Attorney Bryant did handle this case as a private counsel, so this defendant will need a conflict counsel.
Okay. Bond set at 1,500. 1,000 on the battery, 500 on simple battery. Elijah Lee, position 30. Elijah Lee.
State will be requesting a bench warrant bond forfeiture.
All right, granted, bond set at $1,000 surety. Position 31, Damaris Love is reset to January 20th for a final plea in person. Charges have been reduced. Well, I'll let you all decide that. Okay. Position 32, Jolene Lutz is reset to February 3rd, 2023 at 9 a.m. Represented by Miss Helen. Position 33, McCamey is was a plea reduced to disorderly conduct. So that's already been closed out. Position 34, Jayla McGee. Jayla McGee, we had mail returned on December 15th and December 19th.
State's requesting a bench warrant bond forfeiture. And again, this defendant will need a conflict counsel.
Okay. Bench warrant, bond set at 1,500, 1,000 on the battery, 500 on the trespass. Position 35, McLeod is reset to February 3rd, 2023, in person, and a case management order to issue as well. Position 36, reset to January 20th for a final plea calendar. Position 37, Laquana Rogers. With that case is going to be reset in accordance with whichever trial date is set on the cross defendant. So it's reset indefinitely. This one does not have a reset date.
And Your Honor, I've been talking to opposing counsel on this. That affidavit that I mentioned on record is for the state's records only. We will not be using that at trial. So once the state does get such affidavit, we will be null processing this case.
Understood. Thank you. Position 38, Ulysses Rogers, did not sound out.
State will be requesting a bench warrant bond forfeiture, Your Honor.
Ulysses Rogers. What did he have a previous? He had a previous bench warrant, so he made bond on May 2021. All right, another bench warrant for Mr. Rogers. Bond is going to be set at $2,000, $1,000 on each count. Position 39 is reset to February 3rd, 2023 in person. Position 40, Kimarlo Shivas is reset to February 3rd, 2023, 9 a.m. in person to appear with a private attorney and a case management order to issue as well. Position 41, Raymond has been waived and is reset to February 3rd, 9 a.m. Position 42 is reset 2023 for compliance. Position 43, Shantavia Stewart, is reset February 3rd, 2023, in person. Position 44, Henry Taylor, is reset January 20th, 2023, to appear in person with an attorney. Offer has been conveyed to Mr. Henry Taylor. Position 45, Leon Taylor, pending hearing. Position
I just sent,
40, yeah,
I sent paperwork in already. I just emailed my paperwork already to the prosecutor.
you've sent it? Okay, as
Yes,
soon as
ma'am.
we receive it, we're going to proceed with the hearing. Please hold. Position 46 has been null crossed. Position 47 is reset to February 3rd, 2023. The case has been arraigned, and I guess we're waiting on body cam footage. Position 48, Shouting Wang. Mr. Wang may appear from China via Zoom, but his attorney is showing up on February 3rd on 2023. Position 49, Warner filed a waiver of Raymond, a case management order to issue and to be scheduled on the Orca jury trial calendar. Position 50 is transferred to Superior Court as a felony matter. Position 51, Malika Williams, to appear in court in person on January 20th at 9 a.m. for a final plea. And okay. Mr. Fielder is going to be reset to the SAP calendar, is going to be reset to the January 12th SAP calendar.
And Your Honor, for position 48, Mr. Wayne, did you say that he is required to appear via Zoom?
What number was that again?
48, Mr. Wayne?
No. Mr. Wang is going to appear from China if he's there.
Okay,
He's going to appear via Zoom, but his attorney will definitely appear.
okay,
He needs to submit his travel itinerary with the court.
thank you.
All right.
And it appears that some of Mr. Taylor's paperwork is missing.
All right. Let's identify which paperwork is missing. Which one are you missing? Do you have the front verdict form?
Sorry. I have the plea. I do not.
Can you screen share what we have? Mr. Glanville, can you allow screen share for Ms. Githia, please? How many sheets of paper were you expecting back, Ms. Githia?
We were missing the waiver of right to counsel. We do not have that.
Okay.
And we do not have the verdict form.
Okay.
Let me see here. All right then. I sent two, but I'm gonna send them again. I thought I sent them again, but I'm gonna send them again. So I sent the one that last said I accept the plea agreement. So I sent that one. So I'm gonna go again and download.
The one that's titled plea documents is 2 pages. The other documents.
So the only ones I got on my email was like says plea paperwork, verdict form, and waiver of rights.
Yeah,
correct. I don't have the waiver of rights or the verdict form.
All right, waiver of rights. All right.
All right, just let me know when you have them, Ms. Githia.
Yes.
With the exception of those for Mr. Taylor's hearing, the rest of you are all excused. Happy New Year and enjoy your weekend. Take care.
Happy New Year. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge. Happy New Year.
It's good there. You can share your documents now.
I'm sorry, were you speaking to me?
Yes, ma'am. You can share your documents now.
Yes, Ms. Githia, if you want to screen share your documents, you have that ability to show Mr. Taylor what you have or don't have.
Okay, I have no idea how to do that, but okay.
Then
At the
don't worry
bottom of
about
your
it. Don't
screen,
worry
at the
about it.
At the bottom of your screen, there's a green share screen button. Sarita, hover at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
You see the green share screen?
Yes.
If you click that, we'll now be able to see your screen.
Okay. So how do I know exactly what I'm sharing? Because a lot of
You
things.
have to, right, you have to click on the screen that you want us to see because it will open everything that's open on your computer. It's a mirror of what you have. So click if it's your email and you
Okay.
want to make sure, you don't have any emails that can't be put on YouTube.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you see that? Okay.
Yes.
So I have this and page 2. Those only 2 documents. Those only pages I have. And I also have page 2 of this. Excuse me.
And you have the second page and it's signed?
Yes, let me just double check.
You can close this one. You can close this document out and then just open the other one.
Okay.
Oh, you stop screen share also. Okay.
I'm about to send you the, I guess, I don't know what it is. Let me send it to you. I really don't know what it is. Once I type your first digit